He wasn't.
Run it back, bitch, don't tell me nothing. 20 stacks, rashes keep on coming. Living large, know my payroll's up. At the bar, I throw away those ones.
Yeah, so we're gonna have Dot on right now. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, there's no more echoing as well.
Alright, young academics, what you telling me?
It's not even. You know what? I tell you what. Yeah, from the feedback that I'm getting, yeah, and all the messages I'm getting, because the type of DMs that I'm getting are mixed emotions. To be fair, I've had people from all sorts of places all around the world DM me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like some people are giving me positive feedback. Some people are telling me I'm an incel. Another person's telling me you're a grime hater. Another person's telling me you're just a hater in life and a failure. And then you've got other people from like I've even had Universal. Someone from Universal reached out to me.
Mm-hmm.
I've also had Twitter. Obviously, as you man know, Twitter, they've reached out to me. They sent me like a care package. They sent me a couple things. They also sent me a jumper. So you know what? To be honest, it is a bit overwhelming, but you know what? I'm just here to talk my opinion in it and my truth. To be fair, it doesn't mean that it's the truth in general, but I'm not gonna sit here and shut my mouth. My opinion is my opinion in it. But
You're allowed to say what you want to say, my bro.
yeah, obviously it's not in a malicious way. I don't mean it in any malicious intent. You know what I mean? As I said, it's just my opinion, freedom of speech. So a lot of you guys, when you hear people's opinion, just remember it is their opinion. They are entitled to have a opinion, okay? So stop getting rattled because your aggression and your anger and rage is not going to change someone's opinion, okay? It is not going to change someone's opinion because they're going to carry on having that opinion and it'll probably just get worse and worse and worse. So if someone has an opinion, do not gatekeep. Do not tell them, you know what? No, it's not a opinion thing. No, you can't have that opinion on me. It's either you agree with me or you get wrapped. Bruv, what type of mindset is that? You cannot have that type of mindset. That's why a lot of not even MCs. That's why a lot of artists, yeah, or a lot of people in general, they're still at that same position in life because you're telling people they can't have an opinion on you. How are you going to improve in whatever field you do, whatever field you work in, whatever field you're in right now? How are you going to tell people that they can't have an opinion on you? How are you going to improve? So this is what I'm talking about, gatekeeping, telling people that, you know what, you can't have that type of opinion around me. Because if you say that, then it's a problem. Like, no, we're not doing any of that. Yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Yeah. And if you get triggered, then you need to sort yourself out. But yeah, so we've got Dot Rotten here today. So Dot Rotten, just introduce yourself to the people tonight.
Alright, big up everyone in the space. I am producer Zeph Ellis, aka Ryan. I'm somebody who's been in the music industry for quite a long time. For periods from back when Soulja Boy was posting stuff on LimeWire and everyone was uploading grime instrumentals through the MySpace era to till today. Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
Anyone doesn't
cool.
know.
Alright, cool. So, Dot, what are you most famous for right now? Like, what are you most famous for? What would people know you know you for doing?
To be honest, I can't really answer that question, because I've been an artist and I've been a producer in it. So a lot of people will have me more than will talk about me for my production, whereas others will talk about me for my actual artistry. So that's acceptable to the fans. To be fairly honest with you, I don't know. I couldn't pinpoint a pinnacle point in my career where I say, well, this is what everyone knows me for, because I've done a lot of things. Do you know what I mean, bro?
Okay, cool. Because obviously I know who you are, innit? Like, I remember you from back in the day As I said, like I remember like on Channel AKA, Channel U and that Overload song, even the one that you said that you don't like in my DMs, I remember that on TV and all of that.
Yeah.
So like even I remember you from back in the day. So obviously me, I'm a fan of your music, innit? But for a lot of people, they probably that want to know a lot more information about you. Like where are you from and like where did you grow up?
I grew up in like Southwest London, Brixton, Stockwell, like Lambeth, overall in Lambeth, you know what I mean? But I'm
Mm,
from like South London. South
okay,
London.
so you're from South London, but where do you originate from?
What do you mean, like background, family background?
Yeah, family background.
Oh, like, my family background is Jamaican. Everyone in my family is Jamaican. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm, okay,
So,
cool. Because your real name is what? Zeph Ellis.
no, that's nice. Zeph Ellis is also called. Zeph Ellis is my moniker name. That's the closest they'll get to me, though. That's the closest.
Okay, so you don't want to give out your govy.
Bro, you can Wikipedia my name, bro. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know,
But anyone who's
I
willing to
know.
do that sort of research, they can Wikipedia it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm. All right, cool. So because obviously you're a producer as well, isn't it? So
Yeah,
basically, well, you mainly produce now. Obviously, you're not really, MCing and that or rapping or making songs. But when did you first start producing? Hello. Per at the moment, so the connection might be crazy. The echo thing is happening. We just look at the tweets because you know what? Today I'm also cool. So
it's not the same here. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know. I've been there still. I know what it's like.
Well,
But yeah. So basically, when did you start producing? Innit?
I started producing when I was 7 years old, and I'm 33 now. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
I've been producing for a long time throughout the whole grime career I had and everything.
So like how? So because you're at 7, that's quite young. Now, how did you manage to learn how to produce? Like, who got you to the studio and all of that?
Them times there weren't many studios around Lambeth, but my uncle had like one of the main studios that everyone was using. So I just used to sit down and watch my uncle produce, and from there I'd get
Mm.
on it. Them times there weren't no computer stuff. It was all hardware type of business. But yeah, that was a long time ago, bro.
Okay, cool. So what was you producing a lot of the people's songs like in your area? Because I know like what you're from like Brixton, Stockwell.
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
back in early days of grime, like early days, I was
Mm.
producing. Like I would obviously everyone as producers, everyone would want to get their stuff heard. So like I would make sure that everyone in the ends had beats and everyone was writing, and I would just produce for pretty much the whole community. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Mm.
Okay, because you was also making songs as well, weren't you? Because like you was a rapper then as well.
Yeah, yeah, I've done a bag of mixtapes. Sometimes the old school part-time record days, Rhythm Division days when everyone was doing their mixtapes and hitting West End and selling them and all of these things. I've, I've been I've been an artist for quite a while as well.
Mm.
hmm hmm
Okay, because I saw like I've done some research on you obviously,
Yeah,
and I remember like you said something on the internet, something about when you was younger there was a song that was ringing off like the raves and that back in the day.
yeah, I produced.
There was a song that you made. Oh, so you produced it? You wasn't rapping on it?
Yeah, it was a
That's
production.
sick, man.
Then I think when I was about 14, 15, I made a beat called Bazooka at the time, and these are the times when everyone would make records and press them onto vinyls. And
Mm,
this is like early grime days when early. But yeah, like before I was even allowed in clubs, or before I was of the age of being allowed in clubs, I'd be getting brought to clubs by elders where my instrumentals were just smashing down the dance. Do you know what I mean? And
mm.
that instrumental in particular. So that was like, and even when we pressed it up, that sold out in record stores and everything. But that was a long time ago. That was time ago. Do you know what I mean?
Well, so how old was he then?
I was at 14, 15 then. When
What? So you was selling out records when you was 14.
Mhm. No, I was 14,
Okay.
15. I had vinyls that were selling in record stores, that were selling out on SOR, um,
Mm,
that was selling out on SOR, and yeah, through the ages, through the timeline, because it's not like there's just one timeline. There's quite a few things that have happened through my career, but through the ages, I've
mm,
always been at a pinnacle point where I've influenced the culture in some shape or form. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Hmm.
And then also, so I'm guessing a lot of the money that was made, was you earning a lot of that money? Was that money going back to you?
A lot of money that was made during the time. A lot of money was
Mm,
made during the time. There's a lot of money I didn't see as a young man. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of money that was made that I didn't see, and
mm,
there was a lot of money I did see. But obviously as a young person coming up, you don't know how to monetize, and you have people that monetize for you
mm,
at that point anyway. So at the
mm,
time when my records were selling, I was seeing money. Big up any, rest in peace any. Do you know what I mean? He pushed the narrative of yo, we should get these records out and stuff like that. So there's a whole
okay.
there's a whole period. There's just countless things that happened during my career. Do you understand? And countless people
Yeah.
that man's inherited the will from to keep going and just keep doing the thing. So big up everyone.
Okay. Cool. And so like, who are the main guys that you grew up with when you was younger? Like, that a lot of us would probably know now that we might listen to.
The
Who
main
was
guys who
you?
like what like put me on or grew up
Not even
listening
put
to.
you on, like just the people that you was around, like the people that you would chill with, like your friends in it, or like the people in the ends that you would chill with, you know, like would we know any of them now? Like did any of them turn out to do something big like you? Are they well known in their area just like you?
in 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 let's say in Stockwell and where I'm from, like I can't say there's a lot of men that have come up in Stockwell that I can mention currently. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
But obviously I've been around the big nasties and some also. I've been around quite a few people on
mm,
that side. I wouldn't say a lot of them did big in grime. Obviously in the southeast, when I grew up in southeast, I've been around man like Funky. We got Funky. Um,
mm.
the
What
whole
funky
garage.
do?
I came. Yeah, I grew up around. Basically, like I came up through garage essentials. I came up through essentials. So as I said, rest in peace. Any's the person who put me on, and that would be like the
Mm,
main. Anyone who knows the history of like grime in South London would know that I came up around that particular circle. Do you know what I mean? And that circle
mm,
gave birth to a bunch of MCs from Southeast London, let alone like made grime more signature in South London. Do you know what I mean? Because it
mm,
was a point where everyone's listening to radio stations, and the only people when I first got introduced to grime anyway, even on the first tape, there was just on
mm.
one side the Dizzy and Wiley and Slim Z set, and on the other side it was Garage Essentials. For my first innings to grime was based on East grime and South grime. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay,
Hmm.
cool. And what was your name back then? Like, what was your name back then? Like, what was the name that they gave you?
Back
Because
then,
yeah,
when back then I used to go by the name Young Dot.
Young Dot. Okay.
Hmm.
So when did it change to? Well, how many times did it change as well? Because I know a lot of people they have names or they have tags that people give them, and then throughout the years it either changes or it's something completely different.
Around
Mm,
I was probably around 2009, 2010, if I'm
mm.
correct. I mean,
Okay.
hmm
Okay. Cool. And then when was it? When did you release your first song as an MC as well? When did you? When did that happen?
when did I release my first song as an MC? Bro, that's on me, it's probably young, probably like 2007 or 2006. And that when I say release, that's just like it goes out and
Mm,
it's getting downloaded in places and it's on the MySpace and all of these things. Do you know what I mean?
mm.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. So, when you was releasing music on those type of websites and that, like, what was the feedback that you was getting?
Back then it was all fresh in it, so I can say like I definitely remember having like more than 1 million plays on my MySpace, and then times there
What, 1 million views?
yeah, I had more than yeah, definitely without fail I had more than 1 million views on my MySpace back then when I was a kid. Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like
yeah.
the like hearing fresh takes on grime music back then was something that people were looking for, and luckily I was someone who was producing beats that no one was really getting that style, and hitting beats with a style that no one was really hitting beats with, because I can only really count 3 or 4 artists at the time who were doing concepted songs on grime, who were singing and rapping and talk, if the song's about apples, actually talking about apples rather than talking about all sorts of vegetables or all sorts of fruits, you know what I mean?
Mm,
So at the time, I think I brought a fresh take to the scene at the time.
okay, cool. And then you obviously ended up getting signed as well. It was to Universal, weren't it? I think what, Mercury Records.
That's correct. I got signed to Mercury Records, Universal.
Okay, cool. So talk to me about that. Like, when did that first happen, and like the whole process or like of them signing you and stuff like that?
That happened. I got signed, I think 210 or 211. It's almost like a separate life now. Um,
Mm,
but I got signed in 210, 211 to Mercury Records. I was managed by Jack and Archie. Um, I was managed by Jack and Archie, and yeah, like as an artist does when they get signed to a label, you have to release records, you have to meet a certain bracket and
mm,
stays and do what you got to do as a product to the label at hand. So I did my period and then I closed my deal and then I got out of my deal, signed a few more publishing deals in the process
mm,
as a producer. But
mm. What,
I've
with
done
Universal?
no, I was signed to Universal Publishing though.
Okay.
That was a nice little check when it came. And then
Mm,
obviously I was signed to, and then I had a publishing deal with Downtown Publishing, but I think they've been bought out. Universal got closed down I mean, Mercury Records got closed down as well. That's one of the reasons why
yeah.
I left them at the time. But yeah, I've done my run around the circuit. Do you know what I mean? I've done my run around the label circuit, around the PR circuit,
Mm,
and I've had good managers and I've had good teams. Do you know what I mean? So I'm definitely
mm,
someone who can talk for particular
yeah.
parts of the game because I have the experience.
Okay, cool. Because obviously, like, I'm on your Vivo right now from back then when you was at Mercury. What, you released 4 songs with them? Did you release like an album or like a mixtape as well?
Um, when I was with them, I released an album came out with them. I think an EP came out with them, and just some little singles on the side at the time.
Mm,
At the time, but yeah,
okay.
that's a
Because
lifetime ago.
obviously, yeah. Because obviously, I played earlier on when I was playing a lot of the music. I played Overload featuring TMS,
Yeah,
and
big up
you
TMS.
DM'd me saying that you hate that song.
Yeah, I
But
do.
from the looks of it, at that time, because it's at 3.5 million views.
Yeah.
And I remember that song back in the day as well. I remember that song when I was in school. Obviously, because it's a mainstream song, so
Mhm.
they used to play it on like Kiss and all of that. They used to play it on the MTV Base and all of that. And then you've also got "Are You Not Entertained," which is 2.1 million views.
Mhm.
Then you've got Carmageddon, which is at 826K.
Yeah.
And then you've also got Keep It on the Low, which is at 853K. And that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I would have been 13 then.
Yeah.
So, like, talk to me about Overload. Like, talk to me about that song.
What do you want to know about it?
Just everything, like the reason why it was made, what the song's about. Because obviously, I'm listening to the song, and I can kind of tell what you're talking about. But obviously, looking at what was that your most successful song when you was with Mercury?
More than likely, yeah. More than likely.
Yeah.
More than likely. That song, to put it in and to nip it in the bud, was about
Mhm.
as well. It's got two general meanings because the song is actually about suicide, but then in another,
Yeah.
then another, then on the other hand, the song's also about the powers that be and controlling the narrative the narrative of media and all the other stuff that we could talk about. That's conspiracy-ish and controversial type of stuff. But yeah,
Mm.
I made that song.
Okay.
It was made at a dark time, so there's light in it, but there's also a lot of dark in it.
What was happening? What was he going through? Obviously, not to go too deep into it, but what was happening?
To touch on it on a basic level, the concept of the song made me write the song. Do you know what I mean? So the concept of suicide made me write the song. So not to touch on it too tough, but as I said, it was a dark time. So I think I wrote that song 3 days after an attempt. Do you know what I mean? But
After an attempt.
yeah, 3 days. But
Okay, no.
you know what I'm saying? It was a deep time. There was a lot going on. So that's why the song, like, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like the song, because at the same time,
it brings you back to bad memories. Hello. And then also, I can hear you. Yeah, go on.
So yeah, you asked about the song. I gave you a description to what's going on, my bro.
Okay, cool. And then also, so obviously, like when you finished everything that you done with Mercury, well, what was the type of deal that they had you on? Like, because I know a lot of people, they have certain types of deals where you have to release certain amount of music and certain amount of albums and mixtapes. So what was you on with them?
To be fairly honest with you, I think the deal I signed was like for a one album, potentially three more, depending on what the first album did. And and it one of the greatest hits or something, but it was such a long time ago, bro. I couldn't give you the intricate details of what was going on in the deal on it, but yeah, that was basically what it was for, an album and optional other ones.
And the money that they offered you up front, because obviously it's a deal, so they, sometimes they give you like an advance. What can you disclose that?
Them deals were they were all for 300K plus.
Well, okay, so they offered you 300K plus, and then they obviously had other incentives in the deal.
One album 300, etc. Do you know what I mean? Like one album 300. I think overall for all the albums they wanted, it would have come up to at least about 1.7 or 1.5, something like that. If I did the whole period, that's what it would have come up to.
So 1.7 million.
Yeah, it would have come. I think it would have come up to around 1.5 to 1.7 mil if I did all the albums that they were asking for.
Okay, cool. And that song Overload, like, did it chart?
Yeah, chart. I think it went number 15 in the charts.
Number 15. Okay, how many units did it sell? Do you know?
Not a clue.
No.
Not a clue.
Okay. And then also in terms of like album sales, because obviously you've done albums with them as well.
Not a
like
clue.
How much?
Not a clue. I couldn't tell you.
You wouldn't know how much you made in your first week.
Not a clue. At that point, even the day of my album release, I was recording. Remember, I was recording like artists from America and stuff. Not a clue. By that point, in my deal, it was very. This is what I'm saying. It's difficult to give you the ins and outs. But by that point, the communication between me and Mercury was obsolete. Do you know what I mean? They just released the album. Let's get it done. And let's close this deal type of vibe. I called up my lawyer and said, yeah, it's time to close this deal type of vibe. So it won the most enjoyable experience. Do you know what I mean?
And when you was at Mercury, because obviously you was a grime MC back then, wasn't you? When you got signed.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, did they want you to make a lot of grime music, or did they just feel as if they just wanted you to make, like pop mainstream type of music?
At
Or
that point, at that point,
mm,
at that point, no. At that point, I wouldn't say that my label necessarily wanted me to make grime music. I wouldn't say. I'd say no. The answer to the question is really no. Um, Plus, I was in studio. It's the first time away from me actually working by myself and producing everything that I was working with other producers. So I was in studio with some world-renowned producers who make amazing production. So
mm,
it was almost a stage of experimenting with what I could actually do, as well as
mm,
if we've got a song that sounds grimy, we'll do something with it. But I found myself making all different sorts of music in that process. So
mm,
I say that was the blessing out of the situation is that I got to work with some big producers who um who broadened my horizons.
mm. Could you name drop any?
Like TMS was like the main TMS are like the main ones. Do you know what I mean? Them times that I was working
Mm,
with Naughty, I've worked with Naughty Boy. I worked with quite a few people. I worked with the bro who made New York for Alicia Keys. Quite a few people, but
featuring Jay-Z.
yeah. I mean, I worked with quite a
Mm,
few big, but TMS are crazy producers. Like for anyone who doesn't know, like they are crazy.
mm,
One of the producers in TMS for me is like one of the best producers in the world. Like so. Um, yeah, that's kind of the situation. Do you know what I mean? Um,
mm.
I find, but the labels, do they really want man to make grime? No, at that time, you had artists who were being heavily pushed on a payola scheme, like Strider, and they'd all come out with, and you had like Rolex sweeps and all these songs. So it was more about what's
Yeah.
commercially viable. Hence why you had a song like Overload with a Robert Miles sample that they knew everyone would know. So yeah, let's push this song rather than push a song that's original. And
Mm. Okay, cool. And like, did you work with any like big artists? Like globally well-known artists when you were signed, or just in your career in general? Oh God. Mm-mm. Right. Everyone also retweet this space. Oh, yeah, he's back. Retweet this space. Follow me on Twitter, and then also all your thoughts. Tweet it on hashtag harsh reality analysis. So retweet this space because we're gonna go into the interesting part of the interview in a minute. Uh,
um. Today, I would say the biggest artist who I've actually been in studio with,
so yeah. So what are the biggest artists that you've dealt with?
the biggest artist that I've been in studio with and worked with.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Today, I would say the biggest artist who I've actually been in studio with, or the biggest ones I was in studio with, Future, Migos, and
Mm.
Travis Scott, like two
Yeah, because I
years
saw. Do you know
ago.
why? Do you know why I asked you that?
Go on.
Because I saw that Travis Scott. He followed you on Twitter, innit?
Yeah, Travis has followed me since like 210 when I used to chat to him. I used to chat to Travis
Oh
quite
yeah.
often. Like quite often. So I think about since 210, he's been following me, as well as quite a lot
Okay.
of as well as quite a lot of other American artists. But yeah,
Yeah.
I've done sessions with like those guys. Not to say anything.
Well, have you like produced songs for them?
Not, not
Have you like
nothing's.
had their credits or anything?
Nah, I've got no credits. Nothing's come to fruition like that. But I've definitely been in the studio with quite a few of these artists. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so what is it when you're in the studio with them? Because obviously the main topic right now in the UK is, the music scene in the UK, the sampling and all of that. So I want to ask you, what is the difference between artists in the UK like Future, Travis Scott, Migos? what is the difference between them and an artist from the UK?
Quality control, bro. Just quality control. That's from what I see. Like for example, I was in a session. I was in a session with. And just like consistency. I was in a session with Future, yeah. And when I was watching how he records these records, he recorded about 7 records in about 5 hours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the process of recording those, there's another engineer mixing the records. So it's just like, I guess the setup, I guess there isn't much difference on the subject of an artist standing at a microphone and recording their song. But on the subject of work, I've seen kind of a different ethics from other places than I have in the UK. But that's not to say that I haven't seen that in the UK, which I have. But it's artists in particular rather than artists in a whole. Do you know what I
mean? And because obviously you said that you've worked with Travis Scott. So when you was in when was you in the session with Travis Scott?
The last session I had with them, I was in a session with them in Metropolis about 2 to 3 years ago. But that's the first time I backed him in person. That's the first time I backed him in person. Other than that, I just used to talk to him on the phone and via emails, and that's early. That's like if you know Travis.
So how no, because the thing is, I was listening to Travis Scott back then as well, wasn't it? Like School Days, and I remember
like I used to, you had a tune
them days. So like, how did you get in contact with Travis Scott? How did that happen? Talk to me about that.
It happened through. I got Overload mixed by a guy called Anthony Kilhofer. This is the same guy who mixed Niggas in Paris. And when I said
Kanye West and Jay-Z.
It was his engine. It was Anthony was the reason why I think one of the reasons why Travis got to Ye anyway. But I used to talk to Anthony Kilhofer, and he mixed the record. And I think in the process of him playing the record, like mixing one of my records, he was like, "Rah, this stuff sounds a bit like Travis." And then from there, he put me onto Travis, and Travis was producing them times there, so he would send me beats, and we just go back and forth sometimes. But that was a long time ago. That was ages ago, my bro. But that's kind of how that happened. It's not like something to be like highlighted, but that's if you see it, that's how that occurred.
And in terms of Travis Scott, man said Travis Scott. Like in terms of Travis Scott, like how he was back then, in terms of an artist compared to how he is now, like what was the big difference that you saw, and how good was he as an artist?
No, Travis was cold then. He was cold then. I just think that he was more inspired by. I think his music sounded like he was more inspired by Kanye then. That's all it is. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of it. Because if you go back and listen to Lovesick and them songs, you can hear the full Ye inspiration. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas now he's got his own thing. So
Okay, cool. And then also you said that you work with Future. Like, talk to us about that as well. Like,
no, he was in one of my guys, Jam Jam. He was in sessions. He basically just knew they were coming over through like road plugs, like road shit. And
Wait, when was this?
This was like this is 3 years ago or something.
I think I remember. Was that when he came over and I think he was in the studio session with Dig Dat and all of them?
Yeah, that was when D Block Europe was. Yeah, D Block Europe in the studio with him.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, that was in a place. There's a studio called Metropolis in West London, and I think they booked it out. I got brought in there. To be fair, as much as like Future and everyone was there, I was more there for the producers who were there, because 808 Mafia were in London. I think it was one of the first times that Southside came to London, so I was in there and just ended up touching base with them, and through them, they kept me up. Once, like, a lot of producers came through that week and had to showcase what they can do, but I was just there. And then once I showcased what I could do, they were like, "Yo, you need to stay around for the writing camp." So I ended up being there for the whole week and just jumping in sessions with them, producing with 808, and yeah, man, big up Southside and 808. That's gang.
Okay, and then also you said that you worked with the Migos as well.
Yeah, they were there that week. So during that week, I think I caught like the weirdest thing is I didn't catch any placements that week, but I think I caught about 7 or 8 other producers' placements on the albums that were going around. So if any of them are listening, they forget me and let me know how things went. But yeah, to be fair, I was more there for the experience rather than being there trying to catch an opportunity. Like, yeah, I wanna get this out of this opportunity. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, they were there.
Okay.
They were in the studio looking all icy and that. You know how they look.
Yeah, we know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And then also what's been your most successful song to date?
Mine.
Yeah, your most successful song in terms of achieving the most numbers or highest in the charts.
Bro, I wouldn't know, bro. I would like to be fair, if you're looking at that commercial success is probably Overload, but then my most successful song might be a song I produced rather than a song that I'm actually on. Do you know what I mean? Rather than a song I'm on, I think I've done more. I think I've done more and reached more people via producing than I have via being an artist.
Okay, cool.
Get to the nitty gritties, as get to the nitty gritty.
Yeah, we're getting to it now.
I don't want the
We're getting to it now because I just wanted to cover that part, so at least they know who you are, your background, the stuff you've done, and who you've worked with, innit?
Yes,
but now we're gonna get to the nitty gritty. Obviously, we're gonna talk. This is the harsh reality, sis. You know, we get to the realness, innit?
Get to the nitty gritty.
And obviously, tonight is no filter, innit? Like, please, innit? Like, just say the truth. Be upfront, innit? Obviously, if it's too much, then we're not gonna get into it. But if you can, just be 100% truthful and honest, innit? So cool. So, I think it was maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, you had an issue with J1 and Still Bangles.
Yeah.
Over a beat.
Over something
you sent him. Yeah. So just talk us through that.
Produced the record. Was in a writing camp. Me and Bangles were in a writing camp. Produced the record for J1. Obviously 100% produced it. And back and forth with J1 and the DMs went left.
Hello. No, sis. And then add your question on there. Apparently he was something about he didn't fancy the beat or he was getting rude to you through DMs. So tell us
it's just to be on the overall of it.
And go in depth, innit? Tell us everything that happened, because I saw a video and you was telling me on there, innit? And then also retweet the space and then also follow me on Twitter as well. Alright, cool. So you're back, Dot. Yeah, so go on. And go in depth, innit? Tell us everything that happened, because I saw a video and you was telling me apparently he was something about he didn't fancy the beat or he was getting rude to you through DMs. So tell us everything.
It's just to be on the overall of it is I produced a song for someone. They didn't want to credit me on it. They didn't want to credit me on the song. And then when we're talking about it in the DMs, it went left. Like, you get me? It went left. It went completely left. So from there, just the rudeness just ended. And yo, you know what? You want this beat? You're about to release it. Your label's about to release it. It's gonna cost you this much. And then
15K.
It's gonna cost you a 15 if you want to take my music because you're disrespecting me. And then that just ended up in me going, yeah, all right, cool. I'll just hit the studio and just smoke you quickly. And then from there, bad business really. But you know what I'm saying? Egos do what egos do.
Because me personally, J1, I ain't a fan of J1. I've said it before. I don't know if you've heard it. I ain't a fan of the guy. I'm not a fan of his music. J1, if you hear this, I ain't got a problem against you in it, but I'm just not a fan of your music. Man, don't rate your music. Me personally, I do not feel as if you're talented at music in it. That's just my opinion. Yeah. But he was giving you lip because he didn't like what? He didn't like the beat.
No, I think it was more to do with I'm saying I have to think about it. How did it start, bro? It's just in the DMs. It just turned left. I can't even register what happened now because it's just all a bunch of stuff. But it just went left in the DMs, bro. You know, and it just goes left and
Because I remember you obviously that came out. The news came out about you charging him 15K, or they can't release the song. And then I remember you started going at what's his name, Still Bangles. So what is it with you and Still Bangles? Like, how does it work? Like, what's going on with you and him?
what do you mean now or then?
Nah. Then, like, when it
Then,
was all happening.
even from back when I was signed to Mercury, I would link Bangles and we just produce stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of work we did, even down to a tune that I produced for Birdman and Sayari the Kid, it was credited under him. It was credited under him. So just a lot of
Mm-hmm.
business, a lot of business. After a while, a lot of business just went left. Do you know what I mean? So with
Mm-hmm.
bands, I was just producing a lot of records. Like I was ghost producing a lot of records, and I think on this record where everyone ghost produced and he wasn't trying to credit me, and I was like, oh, so it's all for name. I just think things went left from there, and in the business, Bangs never had my back on the subject of business at the time, so that's
Yeah.
where that kind of led to everything as well. More stuff I've
Mm.
heard from it, obviously, but yeah, that situation was kind of just a situation where it's like, all right, well, I've been rooting for a team, doesn't feel that they've got me the way that they're meant to have me, so let me just separate myself from it.
Mm. Okay, cool. Because you ended up dissing him, yeah. You ended up dissing him on the track, saying, what it's called, "Sorry, Hanji."
Yeah,
Okay, so talk to us about that.
bro, that's just the ego kicking in the man guy in studio and just and venting some feelings. You know what I mean? It's not like
Mm,
I'm not trying to highlight none of this stuff because I'm so far from it now. But yeah,
mm.
that's just
No. Obviously, we're just asking because
yeah.
as
Anytime
a lot
that's
of
what.
fans are
So
here, they
every
want
you
to
know it
know.
is everything is like, for example, if you want to look at that subject, that subject matter, everything is in the records. Everything
Mm,
is kind of like I wouldn't even go and diss anyone if it's not all going to be in the record. So everything is kind of in the record. You know what I mean? But it's not something I'm
mm,
trying to. It's not something I'm trying to highlight. But yeah, business went like on the subject of all of that stuff. Business went left. When business goes left, everyone goes their own way, and everyone has an opinion. And if I do a diss track, that's probably my opinion being voiced. Do you know what I mean?
mm.
So
Okay, cool. So, did they end up paying the
yeah, I
15K?
got paid my 15K from my yeah, 100%.
So, how much was they gonna pay before, if none of that happened? How much would they have paid for that beat?
Probably about anything from like seven K to 5K to 7K, because that's like standard price for like label stuff. When I do stuff for friends and that, it's always like 7 to 5K. You know what I mean? Like if I produce a beat for someone, it'll be like that. There is money.
Okay, cool. Just shout out to Mike Nguyen Ngoyen Lee, film writer, screenwriter, and producer of the film of BMF.
Big up.
So yeah, shouts to him. BMF on Stars TV, the one that's written by 50 Cent, I think. Yeah, so that Mike, and I don't know how to pronounce his surname, bro. But yeah, he's the screenwriter and producer for BMF on Stars TV. So yeah, go watch that if you want. Okay, cool. So they ended up paying the 15K. So
100.
after that, what did the song ever? What did it get released in the end?
Yeah, it came out. It came out. It came out.
Okay,
It
cool.
came out. It came out. If I'm correct.
Okay, cool. And then also, because I've got this that I wanted to ask you about Still Bangles.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, are you still cool with him now? Like, is there any issues with him now?
I haven't spoken to Bangles.
Have you ever spoken after that?
I haven't spoken to him I have spoken to him after that, but we haven't spoken in a minute.
Okay, cool. Because basically, I wanted to ask you this because obviously, Still Bangles, like he's been about for a couple of years now. Like obviously he's trying to do the DJ Khaled thing at the UK, and don't get me wrong, his beats are, he's a good producer, but is he stealing credit from a lot of producers?
Well, today I wouldn't know.
Because I would
Today,
because obviously because as you said, he didn't want to credit you on one of the songs that you made, and I was hearing stuff like those other producers basically making beats for him, and then he would be on a song like it's his beat, and on paper it would say it's his, but he's not the one that's really made it. It's other producers that have done it.
I
So,
tell
what
you,
do you think?
I tell you, because I can't come on there and slander bands like I haven't had a friendship, a strong friendship with Bangles. You get me? But I
No,
do
no,
tell you
no. I'm
one
not
thing.
asking you
I
to
think
slander
what I'm
him.
getting
I'm just saying. Yeah, go
what I'm
on, go
getting
on.
what I'm getting at is that Banks is a person who's like, rather than me take 100% of royalties, let me work with some people and let's share the paper with this opportunity. So I'm sure that there are producers who he's worked with and he hasn't produced 100% of the production. Do you know what I mean? That's what I can say,
So,
but at the same
so
time,
he has taken on. So he has taken credit before, or
I say,
that there's some producers that he's working with where he's taking 100% credit, even though he didn't do it.
yeah, but taking credit isn't necessarily taking the money. Do you know what I mean? So
I know, but then at the same time, though, because it's looking like, you know what, you're this big producer, you're the guy that's doing all the bangers, all the songs that he's featured with, let's be real, a lot of them they chart as well, and people are thinking to the public eye, he's the one that's making these beats. But for, the reality, the harsh reality is, for a couple of them or some of them, he ain't.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what I was asking.
There's definitely songs that producers will be able to tell you, right, I produced that. But
Mm.
there are songs that he has produced. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
so
Because
it's not like
do
it's
do
not.
you reckon that he's just got, because don't get me wrong, yeah, he's getting his name out there, publicity, yeah, I produced this, people are going to be thinking he's produced it, but do you think these producers aren't saying anything because he's got them on a decent deal where they're getting a decent split of peas as well?
I can't talk on it, and I can't talk on it because
Mm,
I'm. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what
mm.
business people have
No,
between
but do
people.
you reckon, I'm not saying 100% yes, but do you reckon like that's the case?
As I
I
said,
just be hundred
I
percent
can't
honest
talk on
here.
business.
Be 100% honest.
I can't talk.
No filter.
I can't talk on business that I am not involved in. Innit? But on the subject
Yeah.
of me and him, if you're talking about the subject of me and him, whenever we worked, we had a particular agreement. Do you know what I mean? Whenever that agreement was
Mm,
broken, the agreement would be broken, and we talk about it. But
mm,
him and other producers, I can't talk on it because I'm not him and other
okay.
producers. Do you know what I mean?
Mm. Do you reckon you're a better producer than him?
Do I reckon I'm a better producer than Bangles?
Yeah.
I reckon I've. How can I put this? I reckon I've done definitely 140,000 more hours producing than Bangles.
So you've put in more
I
work
reckon I'm a more.
than Bangles.
I can say to you, I'm definitely on the subject of producing in the program a more experienced producer than Bangles.
No, no. Yeah, but that's not the answer that I'm asking you.
But
I'm
look
asking
at
you,
you
are
asked me
you
if
a
I'm
better? No,
better.
no, no.
You asked me if I'm
No, because I'm
better.
asking you.
You
No,
asked
no,
me if
no.
I'm
Stop, stop.
better. You said, do I think I'm better? I said to you, no, I think I'm more experienced. So,
Okay, so if there was you and Bangles standing right next to each other,
hmm
yeah,
hmm
and we was to put your piece of work and his piece of work against each other, who would the majority go and say is the better producer?
what, just instrumentals?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just your beats.
you're gonna get a me. You're gonna get a me. Nine times out of ten, you're gonna get a me. Nine times out
So
of ten,
people.
and that's no disrespect to him. Just on a nine
So
times out
you're
of
so
10.
you're saying if we was to just listen to instrumentals, we was to
hmm
put your best piece of work and his best piece of work and listen to it in a room, 9 times out of 10, people are gonna say you're the better producer.
Nine times out of ten, if we play instrumentals back to back, depending on what people
Tweet all your thoughts on hashtag harsh reality no sis, and then also retweet this space, and then also follow me on Twitter as well. So all your thoughts and questions that you want to tweet me, tweet it on #HarshRealityNosis, and then also follow me on Twitter and retweet
his laptop.
Okay, cool. So you're saying basically all your thoughts and questions that you want to tweet me, tweet it on #HarshRealityNosis, and then also follow me on Twitter and retweet the space as well. Okay, cool. So you're saying basically if we was to listen to your
If you
best
was to put me in
songs
Bangs
that
in a
you've
room,
produced,
if you was to put me in Bangs in a room, his laptop, my laptop, and say play some beats, the likely chance people are gonna fuck with my beats more than his.
okay,
If you
cool.
want to put it like that.
Okay, cool. Okay, so in terms of producers, because I was even talking to a producer earlier on this week, something about he's a Grammy-nominated producer.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to be talking. He might be coming on today. If not, he'll be coming on the next space. But he was telling me, no, what was I saying? Yeah. So in terms of producers, like in the UK, who is your favorite producer? Or the best or the best producer working right now? Who's that in the UK?
That's hard to say, you know, bro. That's difficult to say because there's all different genres and there's all different producers. There are some dope producers.
Okay, so in the UK rap scene or UK hip hop, you know what I mean? UK, basically black music, you know what I mean?
Like right now,
In terms of
some things that pop to mind on the subject of like the stuff that's going on now, who's popping? Like Quincy Tellen's popping.
Quincy Tellem.
Quincy Tellen's popping.
No, but who do you think is the best? Like, who's your favorite? Like, who do you think is the best?
I don't have one, bro. Beats is something like no beats. Like
okay, not even the best. Who's the hottest producer right now? Like the most talked about, most viewed.
like if you want to talk about who's done the most in the last 2 years, the person who's done the most, who I can say,
like right now, everyone knows.
Right now, I say 808
about.
Mello's done a lot. Do you get me?
In the UK,
yeah, 808 Mello's done a lot. He produced all the Pop Smoke songs. Do you get me?
Okay.
He's done a lot.
Yeah, I know.
He's done a lot. But it's like it all depends on who on what we're talking about, because there's a lot of drill producers who are cold. There's a lot of trap producers that are cold. I can't talk for Grime because I haven't been in tune with who's a big Grime producer. Obviously, first thing that comes to head for me is like Spiral. Spiral's dope. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah, Spiral, yeah.
But I can't talk on Grime because I haven't been in tune with pretty much anything Grime for a long time. I only came out.
Is that by choice though? Is that have you been have you not been tuned into Grime by choice, or is it because it's not what it was when you was in there?
Like since 2011, since Gucci Mane popped up, I've been listening to trap hard. So since BMF, since Gucci, since Ross BMF and them times, since I ain't worried about nothing, that's what I've been producing. Till I got around the 808 Mafia and the big producers who produce that stuff. Do you know what I mean? So with Grime, I guess I stopped producing Grime when it was something that I wasn't interested in anymore, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? So I can't talk for Grime producers, but I can talk like drill for me. I can talk on that because I've been a part of some big things in drill without even anyone knowing. But like, there's a producer group called Brigade in drill. There was Trap House Mafia, but there's a lot of dope producers who are in the game, who are coming up, who are cutting their little checks here and there and getting by. And over a certain amount of time, I'm sure that they'll get the light shine on them in order to do bigger placements. But it all starts how it starts. Million steps start at one.
Okay, but you can't talk on Grime producers.
I can't talk on who's the biggest Grime producer or who's the best Grime producer because I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what the numbers are saying. Obviously, there's grime producers who I think are good at what they're doing and good at what they do. There always has been. There's always been dope grime producers. There's some in here. I see Rude Kid in there. I see Couple Man. You know what I mean? So there's always been dope grime producers, but I can't talk on what's going on.
Do you know any new school, any new generation grime producers out now? Any? No,
bro, I
no.
haven't. Look at it like this. I'm gonna say this just for the record. I haven't even been using my socials. I've come online in the last week and a half because Funky, who's there, has called me and said, "Well, come up and just be a rat." You get me? Away from that, I haven't even been on socials on that, so I wouldn't know what the next big tune or if there's songs that are actually popping like that. I only pay attention to what I see. Threshold, you know.
Okay. All right, cool. So to all you grime producers there, you guys need to start working, innit? Cause people, they need to listen they need to hear your music, innit? We want to listen to your beats and that. All right, cool. So ever since that situation with J1, have you ever spoken to him again? Never. To be honest, since the start of the year, as I said, I ain't a fan of the youth. I ain't heard about this guy. I know every single year that there's a certain amount of artists they get left in that year. I don't know if he's one of them this time. Because as I said, I was not a fan of that youth. I couldn't stand his music. There was probably maybe one song that I fucked with. The one that goes, I'm taking your missus or whatever. Have you heard of that one? Doc. I know. Basically, there was a song by J1. I think that it was one of the songs that he done when he first blew.
Not a clue, bro. Not a clue.
The one that's called "I'm Taking Your Missus."
Not a clue.
I'm taking your missus. No, brother, I'm joking.
Not a clue. Not a clue, bro. Not a clue.
Yeah.
Not a clue. Do you know what I mean? I'm not.
To be honest,
I'm not someone who took him in like that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I think he probably got left behind last year because I ain't heard anything from the guy where it's about to reach April. I don't think he's got that type of power and influence just a ghost, like he's like a J Hustle. He's like who else could do something like that? Like Kendrick Lamar. He's not at that level at all to be doing that. So I think he's probably been left in 2021.
You said
but
it.
J1, if you're out here, huh?
You said it.
Yeah, I said it. You know what? This is harsh reality. This is my opinion, innit? J1, if you hear this, innit, I ain't got a problem against you, yeah. But your music, I don't really fuck with it. But yeah,
nitty-gritties, get me nitty-gritties. Get to the nitty-gritty for me.
Okay, cool. So obviously, a lot of people know recently. This wasn't even recently. When was this? This was a couple of months ago, maybe even last year. There was a video that it went viral. You know what I'm gonna talk about.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
Okay, 2 years ago. Okay, so basically,
look at this before you even get to it. Yeah, but based on the dynamics of the situation, because it looks like a lot of it looks music related, but a lot of it's not. I can't get into the nitty-gritties, the nitty-gritties of.
No, talk on it, but don't, obviously, bait it out or go too deep into it, innit? Because, we want to hear your side of things. We just want to hear what you have to say on that. So, because obviously we saw a video of you in the studio. I think the video was taken by Sneakbo. And he's asking you a couple of questions about what you said and that. So just talk us through that day, everything that happened that day, innit, from start to finish.
Alright, that day I was buying stuff because I was leaving England. I had plans. Obviously I'm not in England now, but back then, like a month or 2 months prior, I'd booked tickets to come to Africa. So I was leaving England. I went to get some stuff. I was on the way to my uncle's house. While on the way to my uncle's house, I passed through town. Stopped off to talk to biker at the time, and then boom, I bucked man. Man seen me a million times, not done nothing but opportunist time, and then got the whole gang on man, and then the rest was the rest. The occurrence of the day was the occurrence of the day. Do you get me? But my uncle is like 5 minutes away from where I was, so it was kind of like I had to go through what I went through for things to happen. So that was the occurrence. Do you know what I mean?
Because I heard something about I think on another video or something like that, or someone on the internet, I heard you say something about someone told you to come in a studio, I think, and you saw you saw Sneakbo, obviously it was Sneakbo. You saw Sneakbo in the studio and all of that. He was there with about 40 man. Is it true? It was 40 man he was with?
There was a lot of people inside the studio that day. There was a lot of people.
So apparently he just randomly grabbed you, and then about 6 of them just, pounced on you, and then started recording.
I had all my jewels on me. I had stuff on me in it. So to be fair, it was a slip. A slip is a slip. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone has their moments when they slip. They slip, and that was one of them for me. Do you know what I mean? But it's deeper than what it looks like. It's deeper than it's just music related. It's deeper than that. So do you know what I mean?
No, because
I am from Stockholm and I was in Angel Town. So like it's deeper than what it looks like. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, cool. Because I heard things like you said something about Sneakbo and Krept and Conan. So what was all that about?
Previous diss tracks.
You made a diss track to Krept and Conan.
Diss tracks. Like this is the thing. These things are structural. It's like something happens in 212, and man hold it till 2020 type beat type. But you've seen man a million times. Do you know what I mean? So as I said, I'm not gonna get too in depth, but those qualms happened because of tracks. Do you understand? Because a man had a harsh reality. A man had a harsh reality on a record, and someone heard it and got offended about it. Like, do you know what I mean? But that's why being a rapper is dangerous, bruv. And voicing your opinion is dangerous sometimes. Do you know what I mean? So with what happened, it's like it was either gonna go two ways. You understand? It's either gonna go two ways, and on my side.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? As many people have slipped, do you know what I mean? So what there's not more to the occurrence than what actually happened. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, because I heard something about you something to do with, you said something about Sneakbo snitched or something like that.
Yeah, if I was to get into the nitty-gritties of it, it was he even admitted it to me. But
so you might as well just explain it at this rate, mate, because people want to know, and I can see the tweets.
Look at this. As I said to you, bro, it's more. Look at this. Some things are more ends related than things. So some things are definitely more street. They're more of a street occurrence than something that's in the industry. So to them to come industry and start talking about things that are street occurrences, it's almost snitching. But how I can put it to you is, whatever happened, at some point I highlighted, you snitched, bro. Do you get me? And then when I've highlighted that, a man's held it even when they've seen me hold it down, and in the moment that they felt, this is the opportunity, man. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, everyone has their day in it. You know what I mean? Everyone has their day, whether that's publicized or whether it's quiet in between a few people. Everyone has their moments.
Okay, cool. So I also heard when all of that was happening, like, just to ask, like, your chains and your jewels, what did they rob that from you?
No.
They didn't rob you,
no.
Because
I still got my jewels on now. I've literally got my jewels on now. I still got them. I'm in Africa now. I got my jewels on now, and my Rolex.
What, the same ones that you wore on that day?
The same shit, bro. The same shit.
Oh yeah,
same shit.
Okay, because I heard that apparently when all of that was going on and they pounced on you and they was going to jump you, basically you just started praying.
Yeah.
And then when you opened your eyes, like everyone was gone.
Basically, something along
So,
them
so
lines.
talk to us about that, please.
If there was 40 men in the room, once I started busting my prayers, there was about 6 when I opened my eyes.
What? So how long did you close your eyes
Bruh,
for?
bruh,
No, we want to know
bruh,
how long did you close your eyes for?
bruh, bruh. Bruh, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't. You're saying it like, bruh, man, just close my eyes and start praying. No, it's not. It wasn't even that. It wasn't even like that. Even to explain it, it has to be written in a book like that for it to be. Yeah, cut it. No, well, go on.
Cool. So yeah, so obviously when all of that was happening, obviously you said that you closed your eyes, you started praying.
Yeah, man,
So
start
how
praying.
long was you praying for, and how long was your
Not
eyes
long,
closed?
bro. Not like, bro. You see, when adrenaline is pumping and bad stuff's going on, 5 minutes can
Mm,
feel 5 minutes can feel like 2 seconds, and 2 seconds can feel like 20 minutes. Do you know what I mean? But not long, bro.
yeah.
The
Mm,
incident from I don't know when the camera went off in that video, but from when the camera went off, the incident didn't take longer than 3 minutes to wrap up or something. Do you know what I mean? But
mm, mm,
it got heated. Do you know what I mean? It got heated.
mm,
As well as that, based on me putting up a video of like, I don't know, I think I put up some video when everyone was doing the 50K challenge. I put up a video of like 100K in a room, and based on
mm,
all of that stuff, road niggas were doing road nigga stuff, man. Do you know what I mean? But
mm, mm,
I don't want, like, we could touch on it, but I'm not trying to touch on it, bro, because there's things that
mm,
don't need to be said here. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
But obviously, for your audience, if anyone ever wanted to ask those questions, there you go.
mm. No, because obviously, you've touched on it already. It's just that because I've heard you say on the internet something about when the video was taken, like what you can see in the video, that wasn't really anything. It was after the video was taken when it all really went down.
Yeah, of course, of
Mm,
course, it's like when shit's going down, there ain't no time to be filming. Do you know what I mean? So obviously,
mm,
after that stuff went down, like, I'm not gonna disclose the things that happen in the building. Do you understand? But man's painted
mm.
out to be, like, obviously paint me out to be one way, but I can't talk for the situation that happened after with other people. They know what happened.
What? So what? You
They know
you
what
you
happened.
retaliated? You retaliated? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying I can't talk on what happened after. Yeah, I'm not. We're not gonna
Okay.
do that. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
Cool. I heard you. I heard you. I heard you.
yeah,
Okay.
but
Cool.
yeah, like, I can't
Cool.
talk. I can't talk on things that happened within that building after that because everyone knows.
Mm,
And to be portrayed in a certain way is one thing, but to know what goes on behind the scenes,
mm,
sometimes it's best kept to self. Do you know what I mean?
mm. So you're saying basically after all the madness happened, another madness happened after all that in the building.
I'm saying after that happened, the occurrence, like, obviously, how can I put this, bro? How things are portrayed aren't always how they are.
Mm,
That's why I'm just like, how things are portrayed aren't always how they are, and like,
okay.
that isn't, that goes with my whole career in a sense. You know what I mean? Because how
Mm,
things are portrayed aren't always how they
mm,
are. But I'm not.
mm.
But luckily for me, I'm not a person who cares for what a lot of people think of me because I've always been
No, no,
someone.
I get that from you still.
I've always been someone who just pushes past the blockages and the barricades of hate or stigma. And I would advise anyone else to do exactly the same thing because in order to get where you gotta go, you've got to stay 100% firm in yourself. Do you know what I
Mm,
mean? So even with everything that has gone on, bruv, I've sold millions of records, I've sold millions of instrumentals, I've done a lot of stuff. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
mm,
with these things that get highlighted when people bring up my name, oh yeah, but the beef with Bo, oh yeah, but the P Money beef and all of these things, they kind of
mm,
take away from what I do behind the
mm.
scenes. You understand that? For example,
No, we're gonna get into all of that anyways. But yeah, go on.
like, let me give you an example. Things I've done behind the scenes, i.e., on one particular day, I've called two producers and put them together, and we're all producing drill. I've fallen asleep on a sofa the day is, so I've almost A&R'd it. I've fallen asleep on a sofa for 40 minutes. I've woken up. Let's Lurk's been made. Tutu's Man's Not Hot is one of the biggest drill tunes in the world, based on me bringing two producers together on a day. Those are the type of things. Those are the type of things that I've been in the works of and been behind.
Wait, what's that producer's name again?
That's
The 6-7
Scotty,
producer.
that's Scotty and Mazza. That's Scotty and Mazza. Mazza and Gotti. Do you know what I mean? But like I've done a lot of things. I've done away from all the hypes. I've done quite a lot of things behind the scenes, and it's and without the accolades of these things, or without people bigging up the accolades of these things, it's almost like, oh yeah, but you didn't do that. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot to be said for my career on a subject of things are portrayed one way, but they're another way. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, cool. And also because obviously I know you're saying that you was from A Town, Angel Town, Brixton.
I'm from Stockholm, bro. I'm from
What? So
Stockholm.
you was never from Angel Town at all?
I'm from Stockholm, bro.
Because I know you once said that you was from Mansfield in Brixton.
No,
as well.
like I've got family in Mansfield. I had family in A Town. I have family in Summer Lake. I have I'm from Brixton. Predominantly, my majority of my family is from Brixton. And then you understand? My first house I ever lived in was 6-7 ends like Brixton. What's it called? New Park Road. It's the first place I ever. New Park Road is the first place that's where my dad lived. Do you know what I mean? So that's like.
Did you ever see any of the 6-7 lot back then?
Bro, we're talking like 1990s, you know. So we're talking like we're talking ages ago. It's not like I wouldn't know, but at the same time, a lot of people went to youth clubs in Brixton and everything. So
yeah. Okay, he's back now. Okay, cool. So, hello?
Yeah, man.
Okay, cool. So, because obviously you're saying you're from Stockwell, I know back then Stockwell and especially Angel Town itself, they didn't used to get on well. Is that one of the reasons why all of this happened?
It's along the lines, bro. Do you understand? Along the lines. It's not something I'm gonna go into because it's still things are still active in it. So it's not something I'm gonna talk on. But yeah.
What? So you ain't spoken to Sneakball ever since this has all happened?
I don't know. I don't know if I have. It's been brief. Do you know what I mean? I think other people have spoken to him, but me.
Okay, cool. So, do you reckon everything could be cool between you two, or do you think it's gone way past that?
Bruh, I deal with everything when it's in front of my face, innit? I just leave it like that. Like I deal with everything when it's in front of my face. Like if how things get handled, they get handled. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so and obviously you're saying that you can't talk about it at the moment. What is it? Because you've taken legal action or some shit, or?
Nah, bro, none of that stuff. None of that.
Nah. Okay, cool.
I'm saying it because on the subject of being online and being in spaces, there are certain things just as a true you that you would discuss, and there's certain things that I left for.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So, because obviously, like I'll be mad honest. I also wanted to ask you this, innit? Like, because when it comes to your name, Dot Rotten, like, you kind of have like, bro, to some people, obviously not to me, but I've seen certain people compare you to the likes of, you're the Kanye West of the UK. Just because of the way you are, like what you do. Obviously, you're a very good producer. You're very, talented at music. Like obviously you have like the way you're outspoken and stuff like that. The way you speak, you sound well educated and stuff. So people, they compare you to like Kanye West and that the UK version of Kanye West. But why does your name have such a bad narrative? Like, why is that? Because I can see why. Because of
choices that were made people who were disrespected. It's because of choices that were made. People who were disrespected, and because I'd say because I've aired people. Because once you air out someone's laundry, people don't want to get on the wrong side of you for airing out people's laundry. So I've definitely created some. I wouldn't say enemies, but I've caused what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think. I've caused some disrupt in places which allows more than one set of people to have something bad to say about me, which leads to a group of people having something bad to say about you, which leads to the stigma. So, and not to say that things that I've done haven't created those things. Do you know what I mean? Like in the past, things I've done have definitely, like even down to us being able to talk about, oh, but your beef with J1 and your beef with this one. These are things that ain't meant to be publicized. Do you understand? These are things that ain't usually publicized, but based on things like this, there'll be reasons why people will be like, you know what? Now we ain't gonna work with Dot because let anything go wrong, and then he could be trying to air out laundry and do all this type of, you know what I mean? It's like, so it's like when you can reference things like this, people are like, nah, I don't necessarily want to work with that person. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So it goes both ways. Sometimes it could be someone's hating on you. Sometimes it could be, no, you did something that made someone hate on you. And sometimes it could be just a decision that you made that led to your downfall, which is like, this is why it's always just good to show love. When you show love, bro, all the best things happen, bro. Because people connect you with the feeling of love. Whereas when you do both sides and then you upset people to potentially make other people like you, or you just do things that create a ill feeling in other people, then it leads to bad narratives and it leads to people not liking you. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying because you're out there doing harsh realities and you're getting two
I was
sides.
thinking if this guy sending sending shots at me, I'm thinking what?
You understand? And you'll get two sides. You'll get two sides of people's opinions based on, no, I like this guy, or no, I don't like this guy. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? But at the end of the day, when it comes to the comparisons where people have compared me to people like Ye, which for me is a big compliment. I just think that's just based on my work ethics because there's a bunch of people who love me just for, yo, you see when Dot touches down in the studio, we ain't got to talk about it. There's work being done. If you bop into Dot's room and he's working, like there's a lot of people who know if you bop into my room and I'm working, I'll be like, yo, close the door. What do you need? And I'll just make it for them there and then on the spot. And I've consistently been that person who, when I'm in the studio, I'm serious. So I think the comparisons can come with the outspokenness, but I think more of the comparisons come from my work ethic. Do you know what I mean? Because in the studio, like I've been in the studio today working. I'm working with a bunch of Gambian artists as well, and I get it here like, yo, bro, like your things that when I work with you, the songs sound different, and you know what I mean. So there's a lot to be said for that. Like, let's not like, bro. Even on the subject of instrumentals and things, there's a bunch of UK artists that have popped off, and the first thing they popped off from was one of my beats. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's like I've done a lot of inspiring man to pick up and write their bars, or yo, I'm going to the studio and hitting this beat. And
who have you written bars for?
no, not like me writing bars for people. I mean like inspiring people to actually pick up their pen and start writing. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Have you ghostwritten for someone though? Just be honest in it. Say it happened. Just for like one or two songs in it. If you've done it, just say.
Yeah, but they're not songs. I don't even think they're songs that are released. I've ghostwritten for artists before, like singers and songwriters and stuff, but they're not songs that have been released for me to be able to reference.
Okay, like you, for example.
They're not artists. They would not artists you would know. They're not even artists you would know.
No, so you might as well say them if we don't know.
Like there's an artist called Anita Francis who I wrote some songs for. But they're not people you would know. If there were people you know, I'd reference them, like properly reference them. But they're not people that you would know. And when you go look for them, you'd be like, oh, cool. Do you know what I mean? It's more of a just upcoming artists. Like I spent a lot of time in the studio where I could have been working with big artists, where I was working with a lot of upcoming artists and helping people master their craft. That's kind of what I've been. That's a lot of what I've been doing. I've been around a lot of producers, helping them master their craft. When I get around the artists, there's plenty. Like the other day, I think there's plenty of artists that have been around me. Like And even like I could reference Steph. I could say, raw, like 6, 7 years ago, like 6, 7 years ago.
What, Steph
Yeah, even
London?
down to like 6, 7 years ago when Steph wasn't big. I think I'm one of the first producers to work with her, bro. Um,
Mm.
she was coming to one crib I was in Northamptonshire when I was cropping, and she was recording at mine. You know what I mean? And she used to say to me, "Dot, if I put 100% in, will I get more back?" And I'm like, "Bro, put in your 100%. I guarantee you get your 250 plus more back." And then today's date, we ain't got to talk about whether I was lying or not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
She's
What what? So what you saying? What did you used to write for
no, no,
Steph?
no, 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 no. I never wrote for Steph. I just used to produce stuff for her.
No. Okay,
Well,
cool,
Steph can rap, you
cool.
know. I don't know about all the instrumental
I
stuff,
know she can rap. Come on,
but
we're
I
just
don't.
asking,
But
innit? Because
she can rap, bro. She's
mhm.
hard.
'Cause obviously there's a big ghostwriting community in America.
Hmm.
A lot of rappers are writing for each other,
Yeah.
and a lot of these men here, some of these men that are out here in the industry, a lot of them aren't even musicians. They just randomly started doing music and they've randomly blown. So that's why I was asking: is there anyone that you've written bars for,
Mm-mm-mm.
or you're a ghostwriter for anyone? Do you know anyone that's doing it though? Do you know anyone that's got a ghostwriter? Because there was a rumor, I think, a couple of years ago, saying apparently Yam Bain. I don't know if you've worked with him, saying Yam Bain apparently he's got a ghostwriter. He left them out a couple years ago. It wasn't even it was Yam Bain, but someone else as well. There was a group of them that was basically saying that there's Yam Bain and someone else. Basically, they've got ghostwriters. So
Mm.
I was asking you if you know anyone that you do know. Have you seen anyone that's got like a ghostwriter? Or do you know anyone that's got a ghostwriter that's done it before?
Not that comes to mind. I know people go to writing camps and there'll be writers in there, but not that. There's no one who I can say to you, this person has a ghostwriter. And even so, based on the process of making particular songs, it's not something to be frowned upon in particular situations, because
Mm,
sometimes the best of a record comes from there being three people in a room putting their minds together to make songs. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
So it's not something that
mm.
I can highlight and be like, yeah, this person has a writer or that person has a writer, and it's not something I can say can be frowned upon. If a rapper's got someone writing all of their
So
lyrics,
you think someone writing for someone else? So you ain't got a problem with that at all?
like
An MC having to get a next man to go write bars for him, you ain't got a problem with that?
if someone's writing all of your bars, then you can't. Then you obviously you can't call yourself an MC. But on the subject of songs
Yeah,
and
but there's people out here doing that.
then I can't talk on them people. I can't talk on them. I don't know because I write all my lyrics. Everything I've ever written is on me. Do you know what I mean? So I can't talk on that.
Mm-mm.
But I can say that it's on the subject of songs and being in a label and getting the best out of a product. It's not something to be ultimately frowned upon if we're talking about an artist.
Mm.
Even Drake has writers, bro. So you gotta look at
Yeah,
it.
but good Drake. That's what I'm saying though. This ghostwriting thing, the ghostwriting thing, that came, it started to become popular because of Drake.
Yeah,
People
like
started finding out someone's writing for Drake, and everyone started talking about ghostwriters after that.
bro, like you gotta
Like,
look at it, like
because
the
the
earliest
song,
point in
what wasn't it Trayvon Miller or something like that?
it was no, it was I can't remember his name.
Something Miller.
Yes, how come I can't remember his name, bro? It's Quentin Miller. Quentin Miller.
Quentin
Quentin
Miller.
Miller,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was
Like, don't
because
get
he
me
was
wrong, like
rapping
in the
himself.
UK, like even down to like in the UK ghost writing, the earliest point that I can reference someone's ghost written a song is Kano ghost writ Strider Man for Strider. Do you get me? But like
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
I think Kano ghost writ Strider Man for Strider for Tinchy Strider. But that's like
So
that's the
so
earliest.
Kano ghost writ Strider for Tinchy Strider.
Yeah, Strider Man for Strider. But that's a whole label release single song. And that's about the earliest I can reference someone I know
Yeah.
who had something ghost written by them. Do you know what I mean? But that's like Early. Yeah, that's before I even got signed to a label. Do you know what I mean? Mm,
Mm.
mm.
Okay,
But
cool.
if you want to look at that,
Um,
if you want to look at the result of the record, then you can't say, oh, it's a bad decision or a bad decision, because when we're talking about
nah,
monetizing from music, you get the best
mm,
result out of the best songs. You know what I'm saying?
mm. Okay, cool. So let's leave the ghostwriting for now. Um, so you also had like some sort of an issue with because not even an issue, like a clash, but it spiraled out of music into violence. I think that's what I'm hearing. With P Money.
Yeah, I clashed P Money a while ago.
Yeah, so what was all that about? Because I heard him on Gram Report saying something about apparently he beat you up.
No, they came. Him and his brethren pulled up on me in the middle, like pulled up on me just randomly, and it got all on top. Do you understand? But
Mm.
what can I say about the P beef? What can I really say? If
Just
I'm
talk,
honest
talk
with
to us.
you,
Talk to us about
yeah,
how
no, that's
it
it. If I'm
started.
honest with you, like, if we want to talk about all my beefs, all of
No,
my beefs,
we're not here to talk about all your beefs.
all
We're
of
here to
like,
talk
all
about
like for me,
everything that's happened.
it all stems like ultimately for me, it all stems from me. It all stems from like a jealousy place. Do you understand? Because there's
So
things that
you're
I
saying
don't.
you started the beef.
Who started it?
No, I'm saying. So you're saying you started the beef.
No. That
All right, bro, you're gone again. Yeah, I can hear you.
it all started with
No, just be honest. Like, what started it? What happened throughout, and how it ended in it? Because we just want to hear your side of how everything happened in it.
like for me, it all like I'd have to get Mel up in there for you to really hear. For me, it all stem. For me, it all,
Mel. Okay, cool. Mel,
no,
if you're
I'm not
here,
even know if
yeah,
Mel's here. I
just
don't even
rise
know if
up in
Mel's
it.
there.
But yeah,
I'd have
carry
to
on.
contact him. But for me, it all like overall, majority of my beefs all stem from a place of jealousy.
Mm,
Like overall. So me and P's beef, obviously, boom. OG started. Um, OG's was like a rebirth of Essentials. OG started. And he put me in the crew. I started putting up the lineup for who I should be in the crew. Um, we put crew P in the crew. We put majority of the MCs who were in the crew, and then over time, there's just this. Like I'm from Southwest, so when I'm in a Southeast crew, there's this feeling of nah, you're not wanted here, and that just led to everything else kind of occurring. Any died when Any died, there was a situation where I couldn't turn up to the funeral, and when I couldn't turn up to the funeral, that got turned into a Dot's fake thing, and then that got turned into other things, and then before you know it, it's escalated to no, we don't like you. So it's like there's so many dynamics in that are even beyond me. So to discuss why it started is a difficult one. To discuss why it ended the way it ended the way it ended because the narrative was we don't like Dot, fuck Dot, Dot's fake. Do you get me?
mm.
So it's like
So you and him went back and forth,
yeah,
and then he said that apparently he saw you, he beat you up. That's what he was saying.
no, he
And
saw
then he said that he was he said that
he jumped you.
he's enjoying the beef, the clash, but in terms of it spiraling out of music, you're the reason why it got to that point.
But it sounds good. It all sounds good, innit? It sounds good. To be fair, like I was in, bruv. I went Joe and I heard some song and P was sending for man on the song, even when I was in Joe.
Mm.
So when I think I did a freestyle with Kenny All Stars, and Kenny didn't bring it out, but I think I don't even want to touch on that like that. But they heard it. They heard it before it came out, and they felt some sort of way. And then on a random day, I'm sitting down producing in the studio, and they've snuck into the studio and they jumped, man. Do you get
Mm.
me? Him and his
What
him,
what P
yeah,
Money,
yeah,
P
yeah,
Money and his
yeah, yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah.
They snuck into the studio and they jumped you.
Mm.
Okay, go on.
Something along them lines. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
the occurrence of that day was that day, and then I think I think after that I went rinse and I did a freestyle, and I think everyone saw that freestyle, and then after that it was just like, you know what? Before this bro brings all this stuff up, I'll just call him out like, bro. If anyone wants, like, niggas know I don't spit no more. If anyone wants it, he can get it. I'll go in the studio and I'll go for him. Do you know what I mean? And from there, that's where the back and forth came on the subject of the tracks. But obviously, me and P's beef, I don't like where it stems from. For me, it stems from a place of jealousy. It doesn't. There's no. I can't identify it as anything else. Do you know what I mean? So because I can't identify it as anything else, I can't call for anything else. That's where it stems from. Then it's like I'm the engineer, I'm the person who's recording all the man them from the ends. I'm in Lewisham recording majority of the Lewisham Borough man them. Do you understand? And then from there it all turns into something else. So there's not much I can go, like, even now in my grown age, I'm like, yeah, like there's not much I can get into about it because that's where it stems from me. So it's like it's always, and that's where a lot of things stem from. Like when it comes to me, a lot of things have happened because when um first rule of the 48 is never outshine your masters, and when people look at you a certain way, you're always a threat when you get in the building. Do you know what I mean? And and this is a masculine sport. Things can be people can get very competitive. So that one, if like the narrative is in order to have the best diss track, no, I don't like this, bro. Let's go and do something to it. You understand?
Okay, cool. So what, did it end there or did it carry on?
Like, and there. It ended where if it was ever to if it was ever to reoccur, it would reoccur, but it's ended where it's ended. It's not something that is ongoing, so to speak. I'm sure if I saw him, it would be hands, but it's.
What, so if you was to see him
I'm
again,
saying, yeah,
it's
100%.
kicking
It's
off
like, come on,
again?
if he saw me, yeah,
So
if
the
he saw
beef is
me, he'd be
live.
on
Is
hands.
that what
If
it
he saw
is?
me, he'd be on hands. We ain't got to talk about it. We ain't even got to talk about it. But if he saw me, he'd be on.
All
The same way both saw
because
me,
you didn't go to a,
the
all
same way
because you didn't go
the
to.
same way
Okay,
both
cool.
saw me, and I saw him anyway. It'd be hands, like because we have previous. It's like if you've got
Well,
previous
yeah.
with anyone, it's gonna be. It's not like oh, it's just all gonna be fucking flowers and happy shit. When you see people.
No, because obviously I thought whatever's done now, because you man are grown adults, innit? I thought whatever's done now is
I'm just
done.
stating. I'm me, as I said to you earlier, I deal with everything when it is in front of me. So based on what goes down, I can only say
Yeah.
that my expectation of situations, if I saw people who I'm not cool with, it's gonna be hands.
Okay, so you're basically saying, okay, so Dot Rotten's basically saying the next time he
No,
sees
that's
P
not what I'm
Money,
saying.
it's gonna be
What I'm
hands.
saying is, I would expect it to be hands.
No, but you're saying the next time you see him, it's
No,
kicking off
that's
though.
what you're
Basically.
saying. That's what you're saying. I'm saying.
No, I'm not even on that type of vibe. I'm just saying though, if you man bump into each other, there is no let's call it ties in it. Let's end this. It's
We're
kicking
not
off.
friends. We're not friends. It's not like we're not friends. Like, just put it like that. The best way to put it is we're not friends. So when you see someone who's not your friend,
All because you didn't go to a funeral.
bruv, it's more, it's, as I've said to you, bro, it's all stuff. Do you understand?
Because he said in the video he was saying there's a lot of things that have happened beforehand for it to get to this
Bro,
point
look
to
at
where
this.
now you're
The
saying the
analysis,
next time you see man.
then look, everyone's analysis is everyone's analysis of the situation. No one's ever gonna talk. No one's ever gonna talk about. Majority of people won't go and say I did this and I did that stirred up the situation or anything. Do you know what I mean? Like no, like, people
Okay.
don't call out their people don't call out their flaws or their madnesses. I'm not afraid to call out mine. I've been an outspoken person. I've said bad things about people. I've done diss tracks. Do you understand? So I'm not afraid to talk about that. I'm big up jokes. I see you. Do you understand? So with with what's gone down, like with what's gone down in my past, of course, like there's gonna be altercations. Luckily, no one's died from anything that happened with me. Do you know what I mean? Of course, if I see anybody who I'm not cool with, I can't talk for what's going to happen, but I would expect that it's not going to be cool when I see them. Do you understand? Like, and that's just like that's humans, bro. That's not even just like, oh, me and this artist. No, like if you saw someone who you're not cool with, the likely chances, if you're actually not cool with them, that something not cool is gonna happen. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, but you are saying though, the next time you bump into my man, it's a mad thing. Yeah, Dot, you're gone again still. Follow me on Twitter as well, innit? So all your thoughts, all your questions and everything about this space, tweet it on #HarshRealityNosis and then retweet the space and then also follow me on Twitter, innit? Alright, cool. So yeah, go on, Dot.
Academics. What? Yeah, bro. I doubt it will be I doubt it will be handshakes and hugs. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, cool. And then also, I wanted to talk about the Wiley and Stormzy beef because
Go for it.
when all of that was going on, you started sending shots for, I think it was Stormzy and Wiley, or was it just Stormzy?
Remember during that period, that all kicked off the back of what I was doing online. So it wasn't like I was just sending for no reason. Do you know what I mean? That all kicked off the back of what was going on online. So where I've been releasing a song a day every day for a whole 2 months. And then in the middle of that, Wiley's come to me saying, yo, at that time, I'm saying, yo, Grime's dead. Where is everyone? Do you know what I mean? Where is everyone? Why no one?
So you said Grime is dead.
Yeah, I
Where
said,
is
bro,
everyone?
like,
That's what you
obviously,
okay,
remember, like, obviously, the whole thing that you've been talking to people about is Grime dead, innit? That's what you've been talking to people about. And for me personally, it's a mad question to ask because for me, it's more like, do you care? Like, it's more of an individual question. Like, excuse me, do you care about Grime rather than is Grime dead? Because there's loads of people who have paid their mortgage. There's loads of people who have done a bunch of things off of Grime. Do you know what I mean? So it's more for the individual. And for me, for a long time, like there was a day when I used to wake up and be like, yeah, I'm gonna write 3 16s and an 8 bar and record a tune, and then I jump on my FL Studio and I would just make Grime beats. Do you know what I mean? There was a day when it was like that, but I'm so far from them days. Like, and I've been around
right now.
Huh? Yeah, like even till now.
Right.
Even till now.
Okay.
I'm far from them days. Like I don't wake up and say, yeah, I'm gonna produce Grime. I don't make beats and be like, yeah, you know, this Grime artist would sound good in this beat or anything. But that's just me as a person. Whereas this week we got Funks. Funks has called me out. I've gone into a space. Kiddo's like, yo, can you make a remix of this tune? The same tune I've made a remix for that everyone's vocaling right now. It's the same tune that a whole
the Rowdy Rhythm? Is that you?
Yeah, that's me. A whole bunch of MCs jumped on that when I originally made it back in the day. So it made sense to make something that if the scene's dead, everyone go to the studio and hit a version rhythm. And I've what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? I've advised other producers to do the same. Go make a version rhythm and make everyone jump in it, because then suddenly things will be more interesting when everyone's hearing everyone's voice. You won't start with what originally happened. There was an actual...
No, but Dot, did you do that because you saw that the Grime scene was on live support and that rhythm was probably the only thing that was going to save him?
Bro, I did that based on... I made the beat based on Funky calling me out and everyone saying Grime is dead and me giving my contribution towards...
Okay, when Funky called you up, did he say there's a guy called Az on Twitter
of course he
getting
did.
onto Grime?
Of course he did. Of course he did.
So my name rings
Of
bells, yeah. I
course,
just wanted to let that
bro.
be known.
Bro. I haven't used my socials for almost 2 years, bro, and I've come back on, and man, are like, yo, taking this bread, and I've taken you in, and I'm like, okay, so we've got someone who could potentially be a Joe Rogan for the thing, or potentially be a Demex for the thing. Let me hear what he's saying. I heard your narrative. You're speaking from a place of your honesty and what you believe, and you're speaking from a place where you'll find the numbers to back the talk. So, of course,
Mm,
Funky's called me up. He's like, Brav, this Brev's doing some stuff. Take him in. I've taken you in. You've called me up. Here I am. I'm on the stage. We
okay.
can talk about
Cool.
all the bad things, talk about all the good things.
Mm,
But obviously, a lot of what's going on right now, the rile up is you've said something that's made everyone take action from
mm,
what I am seeing. Do you know what I mean? That might
mm,
call me and say I'm
mm.
wrong, but from what
But
I'm
they're
seeing.
not trying to admit to it. That's the problem. They are not trying to admit to it.
Bro, start a label or something, minute. Do something with what you have. Do something with what you have and capitalize on it. Start a show. There's
Mm,
plenty of routes that you can take to take the space from here to somewhere else. I'm sure there's a lot of
mm,
industry heads that are interested in what you're doing, and as well as that, you can take it
mm.
somewhere else. So all you've got to do.
Yeah, everyone, tweet all your thoughts and hashtag harsh reality gnosis, and then also retweet this space, and then also follow me on Twitter as well, please. Okay, yeah, go on,
No,
Tom.
yeah, I was just saying you can utilize this opportunity, bro, to do some bigger things, do some big
Mm,
things. You can take this plenty of places. You just got to utilize what you're doing.
mm. Okay, cool. So yeah, also with the Stormzy and the Wiley beef, so obviously you was dissing Stormzy and Wiley. So just to revamp on that, so how did that happen, and where did it go?
Um, bro, it's like it's all in this. It's kind of in the songs, isn't it? But that's just all.
Mm.
That's just all.
Because at one point, I'll be honest, the amount of diss tracks he was releasing, bro, like, it was
It was
like
day for
he was
day.
putting out a diss track a
Yeah, it
day.
was day for day. Like certain days, I was releasing 2 songs a day.
Mm,
I think I was planning what I was actually planning, and anyone who was watching me during that time, what I was actually trying to do is my aim was to release 1 song a day for a whole year. That was my actual
mm,
aim, and I did it because I thought if I release 1 song a day for a whole year, the likely chances I'll get into the Guinness Book of Records, and that was my
mm.
actual
Is
plan.
that the only reason why you done
That
that?
that was my plan. Do you know what I mean? I was like, no, if I release a song a day, every day for a year,
Mm,
I don't think anyone's ever done that, and then I'll get into the Guinness Book of Records. That was my focus. But then I moved to Africa, and internet, as you can already see, is temperamental and loads of things. So that fell short. But during the time, obviously, I was like, when you start coming out, or when I start coming out, and I'm like, Grime is dead, and all these things, a lot of people start talking about it. Will gets into my day. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna send a diss track for you tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, is that what you think?
mm,
Is that what you think? You're gonna get seven. You're gonna get seven for your head top. Do you know what I mean? So it was
yeah.
all like, even down to the Stormzy one, that was more of a breath. How is man just jumping in? That was more of a you're jumping in when I've just created all of this hype from beef, and now you're gonna run and take
Mm.
it. You're gonna run and take it till oh yeah, when you two are
So
going back and forth.
you're basically saying you've created all this hype on Grime by the beef that you started,
And
and
then
then
boom,
Stormzy has seen that,
back end.
and then he's capitalized
No,
on
but
it,
no,
and
it's not
he's
even he's
basically
seen it.
gone and started
It's
dissing
not. It's
Wiley.
not
Is that
even
what you're
he's
saying?
seen it. It's not even he's seen it. It's at the time Will was getting smoke and he needed to divert the smoke. That's what was really
Who
good.
was getting smoked? Who?
Will was getting smoked daily.
Who's Will? Who's
Who's
Will?
Will? Wiley was getting smoked daily. Wiley
Wiley.
was getting
Wiley.
smoked
Okay.
daily. He was getting some sort of diss track smoked daily, and he utilized what I was doing to divert the energy elsewhere. And that's what happened. That is what happened.
Mm,
If I'm wrong, someone can correct me and say I'm wrong, but that's actually what happened. Do
mm.
you know what I mean?
So then you started dissing Stormzy, but he didn't even bother responding back to
Now,
you.
Stormzy responded back. Do you know how Stormzy responded back in his diss track for Wiley? He held a cup of tea.
Oh
That
yeah.
was Stormzy's response. He acknowledged me by holding a cup of tea. Do you get me? But at the same time, I've seen Stormzy
Why? What was so? How's he acknowledging you by holding a
because
cup of tea? I just want to
what did
know.
I say? In my hook, I said, shouldn't you be having cups of tea with Adele? So he made sure to hold a cup of tea in one of the videos. But at the same time, I've seen
Okay, I think it's White So Disappointed. Is it that one?
yeah, but at the same time, I've seen Storms before, and Storms has gone from one side of the room to the other just to show me some homage. You get me? So it is what it is, man.
Okay.
It is what it is.
So there is no bad blood
There's
between
no,
you and Stormzy.
I don't have no bad blood with Stormzy, bro. If he has bad blood
No.
with me, then obviously it is what it is. But yeah, that's
If you man was to scrap, who would win?
pardon me.
If you and Stormzy was to scrap, who would
How
win?
can we talk about hypothetical situations,
No, I'm just asking, innit?
bro? I'm not gonna say if I'm fighting anyone that I'm gonna lose in it. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Come on, I'm not gonna do that to myself.
Okay, cool. Stormzy, if you hear that, innit? But
We got
cool.
no-
Alright, cool. So, you then had, because I think it was maybe a week ago or two, I was on a space, and funny enough, Cadell was on that space as well.
Yeah,
And Cadell was actually talking. I think I even still have the video. Cadell was talking about me to JK about how I need to worry about Alhan because Alhan told me to SYM on one of my spaces.
yeah,
And then I heard something about JK and Funky D got into a mix up, something about because JK said when he sees you,
yeah,
he's going to do something to you.
yeah.
So what was all of that about?
I don't look. I got called. Big up Jokes. Jokes is here. Jokes. D Jokes called me and was like, "Bruv, come into this space. They're chatting shit about you." But I think prior to that, JK was talking about when he sees me, he's gonna do souls, whatnot, and whatnot, and whatnot. But as I said,
So
when I
what did
got,
he say he was going to do when he sees you?
I'm not,
Just to
bro. I
make it
don't
clear.
know. I wasn't there. I wasn't listening. I wasn't there, innit?
Uh,
So I didn't know.
mm,
All I know is when I came in, I let everyone know. Look, a lot of people will say this, that, and the other. It sounds good. Words leave your mouth and go out to the universe. And for whoever was there, heard it. Yeah, it must have sounded good. But unless you're willing to regurgitate what you said to me,
mm.
yeah, it sounds good, innit? Like I'm not about to be triggered over something that someone's saying that sounds good to a bunch of people that they don't know. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? So, like,
So,
obviously,
mm.
with
Yeah, bro, your mic's gone again. Yeah, everyone, retweet this space, tweet all your thoughts on hashtag harsh reality gnosis, and then also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram as well. So use the hashtag harsh reality gnosis and tweet this space, all your thoughts. Follow me on Twitter as well. Yeah, Doc, go on.
bro, like on the subject of JK,
Like, why is he on you? Why is he on you like this? What has happened for him
bruh,
to say that?
bruh. I think there's some sort of fixation on me, bro. I don't know, bro. To be fair, do you get me? I don't know.
What do you think he's just using you for some sort of clout, or just to say, you know what? Because Dot Rotten, he's got that type of narrative. He's always in a mix-up with someone. Let me put his name in and say, "Oh, when I see him, I'm gonna do something." Because JK, like, bro, that guy. Me personally, I ain't got beef with the guy. As I said, I don't know the guy, but is JK really like that? Like, is he really that
Bruh,
type of people pulling up on people like
there's
that?
1,000 people who have called me and told me it's not the case. So I can only, I don't, bruv. When I've seen him. I've actually seen him. Nothing's happened, so I can't talk. I'm not about to say a bunch of things about JK, bro. I've seen him. Nothing's happened. Then he's saying when he sees me, he's gonna do this. Sounds great. It just all sounds good, bro. It sounds good. And as well as that, I'm not really know. As well as that, because of who I am, yeah, because of the stigma I have, it always sounds good when someone says they've had an argument with me. It always sounds like
Mm.
swear down. Or what's that about? Because of the stigma that runs with the name. Hence why, bro, like I've actually changed my name to get away from stigma coupled to like a few times, and it's worked till people have found out that it's me. Do you know what I mean? So based on the stigma, that's a lot of reason. That's the reason why a lot of people will have something with me, as well as that. I corned JK in a Graham clash. I corned him down. I definitely made him feel some sort of way, and I spoke some factual shit. So I just believe it. I believe overall, like my dub plate that I did for him is haunting him till you know what, fucked up. When I see him, I'm gonna do this. Da da la 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 la. It sounds good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
on the subject of that. We've got a lot. I've been through a lot of shit, bro. You're talking a lot of stuff. So yeah, um, that's kind of that, bro. Like, you understand?
Mm,
Away from that, while I'm here, let me just plug some stuff. Big up my brother Asmodeus from Producer Portals. You get me? Me and Asmodeus started a platform for producers on Instagram. I gave my Instagram page that was mine to this platform, and we produce for more
mm,
producers all over the planet. So anyone who's on Insta, feel free to follow Producer Portals. Big up my
mm,
brother D Jokes. Big up my brother D Jokes, USG UK. He's platforming. It would be good for you to chat to Jokes as because he's got connections. He's heavily connected
mm,
with WAC 100 and a few other people. So some things can come from that.
mm,
Do you get me? Big up Janaea and everyone else here. Big up Funky. Do you get me?
mm,
And all the other people in there. If they've got some insight in my
mm.
life, blessings. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, Dot, I've got one more question, innit?
Go for it.
I know everyone probably wants to hear everything as well
Mm-hmm.
about what's happened here. So I think maybe 2 or 3 months ago, there was a video, another viral video of you.
Yeah.
Basically, there's some sort of situation that's happened with you and that Marvin Herbert guy,
Yeah.
the guy with one eye.
Yeah.
Basically, him not letting you in the studio. The guy that you was with, apparently, he went in business with Marvin or something like that. And then something to do with he wasn't letting you in the building. So basically, just tell us everything about that situation because that Marvin guy, he ended up doing a YouTube video. Basically, I don't know if you've probably seen it yourself. Basic,
I actually haven't.
yeah,
I actually
yeah.
haven't.
He basically made the YouTube video, reacting to the video, and basically just dissing you and the you that he was with, and apparently because you claimed that apparently he punched one of the guys that you was with in the face. So talk us through that whole situation, please.
Herbert. All right. Two of my friends owned the studio in Milton Keynes. They had a business partnership with him. To break it down in basic terms, they had a business partner with him. They rented me a room in the studio. I've got all my equipment in there. It's like over 50 grand's worth of music equipment in there. I think
Yeah, Dot, I think you've gone again. Well, so all your thoughts on hashtag harsh reality notice, just tweet them on there. Yeah, go on. Yeah, I can hear you.
okay. Boom. A situation's gone down where because I can't really talk on. I don't really know what happened with their business, but they've had an altercation. Do you get me? That altercation has gone down. Um, Mr. Herbert's locked his other business partners out of the studio and me out of the studio. I've got a container there ready to go outside the studio, and I need to pack my stuff to bring it to Africa, which I have done. And he won't letting them inside the building. So at that point of call, I think one of them's called the police. Do you get me? Because they're business owners, and his name ain't on the tenancy or anything, and obviously he's locked them out of the building. When the police have come, they're on some what's going on? They've checked his name. They've seen he's a criminal. They've asked him, do you own the stuff inside the studio? They said no. He said no. They've let us in the studio to get the stuff that I needed to take. That's what went down on that day. Do you understand?
Hmm. So apparently, what? So someone got punched in the face.
Yeah, but
Cause
that wasn't me. But that was someone that was something.
no, obviously you didn't. I know who the guy. Apparently, one of the youths that you was with, that got punched in the face by who? Marvin.
Yeah, something along the lines. Yeah.
So what? You guys stood there and let this guy with one
No,
eye
no, 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 no,
punch
no,
your
no,
guy
no,
in
no,
the
no, no,
face.
no, no. It never went down. That's what I'm saying. It never went down like that. It never went down like that. When the assault happened, we weren't inside. Do you understand? When the assault happened, we weren't even inside. That happened like I'm in my studio room working. Boom, he's done it to someone else. He's done it when no one's looking. Type of vibe. No way, no way. Do you understand? So but that wasn't even an occurrence that was happening at that time. That was an occurrence that happened earlier that led to all the arguments that led to him trying to lock everyone outside the studio, basically.
Mm.
So on the subject of that, like even in
Why was he trying to lock people out the studio?
bruh, I can't talk on what goes on inside other people's mind. Do you know what I mean? I can't talk. I've heard. Oh, this one owes me this much money. This all of this stuff. It has nothing.
Yeah,
It
because I
has
heard him say something
nothing. Listen
about,
to
oh,
me.
pay me
Listen to
my
me.
100 grand back or
Listen to
something
me.
like that.
That has no.
Yeah, go on.
The only reason why I'm even in that situation is because my stuff is in a studio. Minus that, it has nothing to do with me. So this is what I'm
Mm.
saying. When things are portrayed a certain way, it will lead to something like
Mm.
this. When you're asking me questions about a situation, but the only reason that I'm in the situation is because now my stuff was in the building and I had to get my stuff out of the building. Simple as
Mm.
like.
Because I saw the video and I'll be honest, right? Like, because he was bare irate, jumping up and down,
Mm,
walking up and down,
mm.
and then you ended up calling the police.
No, no,
Like,
no. This is what I'm saying.
why did you have to go and call the
This
police?
is what
Why
I'm
didn't you
saying.
go and
This is what I'm saying.
deal
The
with that by
narrative.
yourself?
This is what I'm saying. That's the narrative, but that's not how it went down, bro.
No, but in the video, you went and called the police. You said we're waiting for the feds, like, to come so you can get inside.
This isn't a road situation. This isn't a situation of road. It ain't a situation where. It ain't a situation where. It ain't a situation where it's not down to contracts and tenancies and I've got to take
Mm.
my like. It's not a situation where I'm snitching, G. It's a situation where
Mm.
now my goods are inside this business complex, and there is an individual who isn't on the tenancy who's trying to block me from getting my shit.
Yeah, but he's gone and banged one of your guys in the
No, no,
face.
no, 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 no,
Your
no, no.
your
Mm-mm,
stuff,
mm-mm,
your
mm-mm,
stuff is
mm-mm.
in there.
That that
There's
that
three of you
that
and
might
two
be
of them.
that
Why
that
didn't you, man, just jump there?
that might be the narrative. That might be the narrative that was set, but that's not how it went down, bro. Do you know what I mean? You might think, oh, man's banged someone, one of your bridges in the face. Now, calling the feds. No, 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 no. I think he actually assaulted one of the business owners, bro. Do you get me? He assaulted one of the owners, to be fair. Do you understand? So that's how it goes. When it's time for me to get my 60 grams worth of equipment and I've
Mm.
just paid 4K to get this fucking container to move my shit and you're trying to block.
No.
I'm not doing none of that though.
Okay, cool. I've just got a couple just like main questions. So obviously you're in Africa now. No.
I'm not doing none of that though.
Okay, cool. I've just got a couple just like main questions. So obviously you're in Africa now. So what made you go to Africa?
Over
What made you move to Africa?
over here, I have a road traffic company. So I have a road traffic what's it called, maintenance company over here where I am.
Mhm.
So currently and I'm land banking, so I've been buying land and selling land, as well as a few other things. But obviously, what made me come to Africa, there was just the point where I just needed a break from England and coming there has
Mm.
opened up the horizons to all sorts of different things. Do you know what I mean? So
Mm.
that's why I came here because I started a business here. Do you know what I mean? As well as that, I
Mm.
bought land. I'm building my house. I'm building one of my houses, and I bought more land. And there's just some other things that are going on here. But
Mm.
at the same time, obviously, I'm still doing music. I still work with a whole bunch of people, and I'm still active. Do you know what I mean? I'm still active. I'm still one of the best at my
Mm.
craft. So
Mm.
now you got
Okay,
me
what? And are you
one.
planning what? So are you planning to what? Are you staying there for good? Like you're just coming back for holiday or?
Um, based on what I'm doing here, I have to be here for a while. But at the same time, I'll be traveling other places. There's things that are going on in not just where I am. But yeah,
Yeah. Okay, cool. And then lastly, on the grime scene, yeah.
yeah,
So, I've just got two questions on this, and then I think we'll wrap it up. So, couple months ago, you said grime is dead, and you're not producing no more grime beats anymore.
yeah.
So, what is your view on grime at the moment? And do you think grime is dead? Just be 100% honest.
Do I think grime is dead? For me,
Yeah, just
like
be
if
honest,
you
because
are, as I said to you earlier, like the grime is dead conversation is one that is like it's it's a conversation that is like, well,
no, because the thing is, you said it though.
yeah, like
You
to me,
said
yeah, like, but that's my, but as I said, that's my opinion.
yeah, but it's just your opinion though. It's
To
just
me,
your
yeah,
opinion.
to
That's
me,
what I'm
like,
saying.
I don't like. For me, I don't
It
wake up
doesn't
and think
mean
about.
grime
I
in
don't wake up
general
and
is
think
dead.
about grime no more, and I'm not someone who tunes in to look for grime artists. So to me, yeah, the genre doesn't have much weight for me. But at the same time,
So okay, so for you, in for you as a person, grime is dead for you. You ain't really in that scene no more. You're
I'm
not
not a
really
person.
looking at it.
I'm not a person that's indulged in the grime scene. For me personally, yeah.
Okay, so for you, you're saying for you personally, grime is dead.
For me personally, I'm not indulged
Not
in
in
it.
general, but for you personally, grime is dead.
For me personally, like I've just given my contribution to grime. That's the most I do, bro. Do you get me? I've just
No, but just say it though. Just say it though. From you
But I can't.
personally,
But I'm
grime
not gonna
is
say
dead.
to you. I'm not gonna say to you, grime is dead. I'm gonna say to
It's not
you.
dead. I don't mean it in that way though. I'm just saying
Oh,
for
to
you.
me personally, yeah. To me personally, I'm not a fan of grime in it. Like, grime isn't alive for me personally. You know, for
Okay,
me
so grime is
personally,
not alive for you
yeah, it's
personally.
not
Okay.
for me personally until I see something. Until I see other stuff for me personally. But that doesn't mean that a big grime record won't pop in the next 3 months based on all the hype that's building up from now. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm. Okay, and all this hype that is building from grime,
Yeah.
where has it come from? I just want to know.
Where does it all stem from?
Hmm.
Bro, I've been using my socials for a week, bro. I can't really highlight that, but I'm sure that you've had something to do with everyone riled up in grime. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm. Okay. And what is your thoughts on the grime scene at the moment? Your grime scene at the moment. What is your honest thoughts on it at the moment?
From what I've
Hmm.
seen in the last week, everyone seems to be getting active. So it must mean something good. Everyone seems to be engaging with each other and getting active. So that must be something good.
Hmm.
Do you get me? So
So
yeah.
why do you think it's not at the place where it used to be?
Why do I think? Because there's a lot of things to there's a lot of things to account for that. The culture, remember, like the culture, they're not being a place where all grime artists would go. Like back in the day, bro, there was like Uptown Records where grime artists would all go down, put their mixtapes in there, do sets. There was Rhythm Division where everyone could go and get the latest
But
vinyl.
mate, today there's places where grime artists can go. Like you've got like what people kept saying that what TV,
No, the
you've got Pyro
culture is different,
Radio and all of
but
that.
as the culture is different now. The culture is different compared to what it was. Like now, no one doesn't have to go to a house and has their Spotify. It's a bit. This is like it's different now. But as a whole, from what I see, just the culture's changed. So where the culture's changed and the sound has changed a lot. There's a lot to talk on. There's you can talk on the fact that music's different. The way that like even spitting how grime MCs have spat for me in my view, it's never been popular worldwide. Whereas Migos coming and spitting in triplets has changed the whole world to make people rap in a particular style and way. So
Mm.
there's
I know, but that's got nothing to do with the grime MCs of today because what a lot of people are saying is the new grime MCs, a lot of them, they're basically trying to copy the guys from back then. They're on the nostalgia thing. They're trying to sound like how the MCs were spitting back then and they're trying to copy them and it's not really banging. So people are thinking like, you know what, like it's dead. Like, that's what a lot of people are saying.
like people's craft when they hit the studio is different. Do you get me? Like when I hit the studio,
Mm.
people's craft, their actual craft, how they write, how they put their views across, what they do, what like the beats they hit, the sound selection they're going for. It everyone's different. So for me, when I hit the music, I'm trying to find something. For example, when I was doing grime, I was trying to find something that pleases the ear in many different ways. Whereas a lot of people, I've heard a lot of songs where man just go to the studio and it just there's no, it's just a straight line on the subject of the track. It's just beginning and ends. There's nothing to grow like to the musical experience isn't amazing. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's a lot to be said for what goes down in the studio. There's a lot to be said for mix downs. There's a lot to be said for promotion. There's a lot to be said for the actual scene. There's a lot to be said for gatekeepers and the narrative of what music
So
is.
you believe that there is gatekeepers then in the
Oh,
grime scene?
bro, there's gatekeepers in every scene. Do you know what I mean? But like, honestly, it might not be so apparent now, but back a day, it was kind of apparent. Like if
No, because when I was saying that, people are gatekeepers and that, people are laughing at me like, how's there gatekeepers
like
in grime? And sorry, but there is gatekeepers, isn't
I
it?
put I put it,
There's gatekeepers, and a lot of you man are
I'll
gatekeepers,
put it
isn't it?
I'll put it like this, yeah. I'll put it like this. We've come from a time where no one had their business on point. So at a time when no one had their business on point, and it's only a few grime heads who actually understand the ins and outs of business, it's allowed them to rise their brand, because everyone is a brand. It's allowed them to rise their brand to a particular level based on the insights they know about the business of music, not just music and sending it to a DJ. So as time has gone on, people have learned how to monetize their music more. People have made different connections. You can push their music into a different place. But on the subject of
Mm-hmm.
time, the people who were doing it first are the people who were doing it first are usually the people who till this day will keep the same formula that allows them to get their music into a certain place. So where other people are coming on, they might not be as known or as respected as these acts. It's like, well, if we had a wireless show, for example, it's like, well, I can put on this grandma who everyone knows, or I can put on this one who's on the come up who might not be as big. The likely chances the big act's going to get chosen, and that's due to their work rate and what they've done within the industry over a good space of time. Do you know what I mean? So like even down to the gatekeepers of grime, there's people back in the day who would only promote negative grime music. And there was much more than negative brand music, but the agenda is now we promote the smash, bang, knock your head out, rather than people who are actually doing conscious stuff. There's artists in the UK who are big in so many different countries, but aren't big here based on the fact that the narrative is that it's who we want in the scene. Do you know what I mean? And there's gatekeepers, as if there's gatekeepers in every scene. There's politics in every scene, and there's always going to be someone who is paying someone's mortgage more than someone else. So let's push that person. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And that's the game, bro. That's the game. There's plants. There's industry plants. There's people who come up with off a straight fan base. There's people who come up with a.
Do you reckon RD? Do you reckon RD is an industry plant?
No, because and the reason why I don't is because he's got versatile behind him. And
do you reckon Central C's is an industry plant?
I don't reckon Central C's an industry plant, but he's definitely.
So what would be an example for an industry plant in today's day? Who could you name us as an example?
I can't name you anyone in the England music industry plant. I can name you people. Who I know there were talks about before they released the song. Like there were many talks about, i.e. Stormzy and people like that. There was talks about them in radio stations, and DJs are saying, "Yo, this is the person we've got to push before they've even released the record." So there are people who potentially could be plants because of things I've heard about.
So you're saying potentially Stormzy is an industry plant, or could have been an industry plant.
Before Stormzy released that, before this is I don't know if this is news to everyone else, but before.
Okay, do you reckon Stormzy is an industry plant? Yes or no? Be honest.
Potentially, and the only reason I'm saying potentially is because before anything came out, I've sat down in One Extra, or I've sat down with DJ Cameo, and he's like, "Yeah, I just in the meeting today we was talking about this artist. What's his name? Blah blah blah. Oh, who's that? I don't know who that is. Oh, okay, well, yeah, we've been told we've got to push his thing." That's something I've witnessed, but that doesn't mean that.
So basically, you reckon my man's an industry plant then?
Bro, I've just told you what I've told you.
No, but just to summarize it, you reckon my man's.
To summarize it, bro. I did summarize it. I actually did. I did. I gave you an example of someone who could potentially be based on the particular things. But for me to say this
Okay.
person's a this and that person's a that, I can't talk on.
Mm,
And that's not just me highlighting one. That's not me just putting it on my man. There's other people who
mm.
potentially
Like who?
deserve.
Like you? Like you? Like you?
Like you've asked me, like the central CEO of this one, potentially, who knows? Do you understand? But there are teams behind people that allow them to get to a bigger space. Do you know what I mean? So
No, but RD, he went viral off that one song,
I
and
wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I just know that the teams behind people are very strong. Do you understand?
mm,
So I can only talk on that. Could potentially be that. I can't say this is that because I'm not in their business. Do you know what I mean? I'm not in the business
mm,
of these people to be saying, yeah, this person's doing that or that person's doing that. And I'm not someone who necessarily like I'm not someone who wants to be center stage. I'm someone who actually
mm,
likes just being behind the scenes, working and doing the damn thing. Do you get me? And that's based on the 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 um the perception people have on me. Do you know what I mean? So with the
mm,
perception people have on me, I know, let me just play my role, do the magic behind the scenes. When it comes to the forefront,
mm,
that's me. People will know it's me. When it comes to the forefront, cool. Other than that, I'm not searching for no fame. I'm not searching for the stage. I'm not searching for none of these things. I just make my music and bless people with the energy. That is my thing, bro. Do you get me?
mm. Okay, cool. And in terms of grime, who do you think is ruining the genre? What MCs do you think are out there that shouldn't be in grime or representing grime whatsoever?
I can't talk in it because I don't know. I don't listen, bro. I don't listen to. Me personally, I actually don't listen to grime. Like I haven't listened to a grime set, a radio set, nothing. Me. But then I'm a producer and I don't listen to a lot of people. I'm not a person who goes on YouTube and types and looks for music videos or listens to
Mm.
music. I'm a person
So
who,
the beat that you made, the rowdy rhythm beat,
yeah.
yeah, you know all the MCs that have used that to make songs. You're telling me you ain't heard any of their
No, I've
dubs? Is that
listened
what you're
like yeah, like I've just obviously because it's this week and it's been active. I've heard people that have done their rowdy evidence. My favorite so far is Brotherhood's Menace did one. That's my favorite so far. But obviously that's like Menace and Blaze and Brotherhood, big them up. You know what I mean? Them man are like that's my like we're gonna talk about the sides of grime. That's almost my side of grime. Do you understand? Because I put them in a click early. But everyone's that is literally just my contribution to say, right, if this is the narrative that is dead, here's a rhythm for everyone. Do the thing. Do you know what I mean? Do the thing and show people it's not. And if you're not, then you didn't. Do you know what I mean?
saying? Okay, cool. And then also I've got one last question. Um, so what are your future plans as well?
Well, I'm producing daily, so my future is it's the same as always. I'm a producer 24/7, so I'm producing. I'm working with some artists over here in Africa. Um, I'm
Mm,
working with I'm working with artists around the world, sending them music. I just sent something to Lola Brooke in New York, um, and really, I'm producing on a regular basis. I'm working on I would say I'm working on a project like artist wise, but I'm a person who, when God tells me to make some music, I make some music. So it's all about the energy and the vibe. Um,
mm,
but, how can I put it? Yeah, I'm just bro. I'm producing daily. I'm working on my platform, producer portals. I'm connecting with producers all around the world. So hopefully I can take that into a new place. Do you know what I mean?
mhm,
A place where I could end up being someone who gets placements for other artists and helps them, other producers, and helps them cut some checks and stuff. My thing is, I'm working on, number one, I'm working on getting better every day as an artist and as a producer. And then I'm
mm,
working on what platforms that I can set up that could potentially help other people, as well as
mm,
I'm over here doing the business I'm doing over here. Road traffic is really
mm,
bad here, so we're trying to
mm.
set up some measurements to make this country better where I am. You know what I mean? But
Okay. Wait, so what country are you in again?
currently I'm in Gambia.
Gambia. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Um, also, like throughout this whole week, I don't know. As I said, you don't listen to Graham, so you might not have heard of this guy. Have you heard of an MC called SBK?
No, I haven't. I know who SBK is, but I haven't heard his music.
Okay.
Hmm.
Basically, there was some drama about him. Basically, coming out. He made a song, basically saying he's leaving grime.
Yeah.
and basically he's tweeted and he's made the song, and in the song he's basically said he's done with grime. He's leaving it. He hasn't really been treated the right way, in a fair way. He feels as if he hasn't reached a point in his career because of grime and the people that he's working with and the people that he's met. So he's basically leaving it and he's now going into a new direction. So I know a lot of people know about this because he was facing a lot of backlash from the grime community saying that, oh, he's going to come back and all of that. He's making a mistake. So basically, I had a conversation with him, and he
Mhm.
went. So I asked him, I see all the backlash you're getting, um, and it's funny, Carl. Why are so many people so pressed that you're not doing a genre anymore? And then he goes and says, "Oh, it's okay at the end of the day, because I've left. I don't have to deal with it anymore. I left because the attitude and the negativity is toxic as hell. So much jealousy and hate in the scene. Grime is dead." And then he
Mhm.
also went to say, it's gonna be because drama, bro. Everyone is rattled already. If grime people start talking, I won't get a word in. Uh, each word in edgeways as well. Too
Mhm.
ignorant to let me get my point across. Then he also said, you know what? I'm good. I don't want to be associated with any of these people, and I don't want to have a convo about it. Let them talk. Let them be vexed. I don't owe them anything. Big up, though. And then he also goes and says, "Nah, I'm on it, bro. I'm not just gonna." Then he goes and says, "These lot are my friends at the end of the day, but they're just salty at the moment. It's not even that. It's not even them that I've been talking about, but I don't care anymore. I'm gone." Then he also went and said, "I have no issue with them for some reason. Uh,
Mhm.
certain man, I'm not going to mention their name, took offense to it. He also heard that someone was talking about him. So he also then said that someone kept talking about him on Spaces and kept on indirecting him and dissing him. And then he was like, "Yeah, of course he would. I'm trying to be me, but honestly, fam, I get your job is." To and then he goes, "But I ain't giving." And then he goes, "But I ain't giving my time to these people." Um, and then he goes, he's just not part of grime anymore. It's not the talent either. Guys are talented. They just don't package themselves as something people are interested in. And then he goes, people want to pretend like it's 2001 still. And then he goes, I did, but people don't want other people to shine. They think I'm acting like this because I'm jealous of others, but it's the other way around. I
You
ain't
had a lot
jealous
to
of
say,
any of
man.
them, but
You
it's
had a
not
lot to
even
say.
aimed at so and so. So I don't know what he's on. He just wants an excuse to start drama, which I won't rise to.
You had a
Uh,
lot to say. You had a lot to
yeah,
say,
a
please.
lot, a lot. So basically, what he's saying is, you know what? I've got the last bit that you wrote in. I'm gonna read it out so you man can hear. And then he goes, "It's not about being better. London people are entitled and think everything revolves around them, like Americans. People from outside appreciate it more. I moved away from my family just to be in London and in the scene. I was homeless when I first come here working in factories. I was like 17, 18. These brothers have always been here, but when you're in their place, you never realize what you got. When I was younger, I would have died to be here. Now I'm here and I surpassed people. They pushed me out. They can run whatever narrative they want. I'm gone. I'm not saying people don't have their own struggles and lives, but fam, most people in grime just sit around and smoke weed all day and think they the
Wow.
best MCs. It's
Wow.
just whack." And then he goes, "Bro, it's so boring. I love the music so much, but the people ruin it for me. There are so many who work hard, but all the attention is on the bullshit." And then he goes, "Yeah, when it should be on the hardworking people. What you mean? Do I have to?" And then he goes, "Certain man just want clout. off of me, man. It ain't happening. Just pretending to be my friend, and now he's switching up. So this is what SBK had to say
Yeah.
when I spoke to him about the grime scene and why he's leaving. So
Yeah.
are you surprised from what I've just read? Are you surprised that he's gone and said that?
As the young G, he's gonna go through his own trials and tribulations with the scene. Do you know what I mean? And music can be when you don't get the result that you potentially wanted from doing anything, it can be disheartening. Do you understand? So am I surprised? No, but at the same time, he's young. Do you understand? So at the same time, he's gonna have his way of. Everyone has their own coping mechanisms. Do you understand what I'm saying, bro? Everyone has their way of dealing with things and approaching situations, and that was the one that he had. He had, you know what? I'm gonna let everyone know how I feel and explain that I'm gonna leave this thing, whether it was taken whether it was taken in a good way or a bad way, he let everyone know how he felt. Do you understand? And the expression is what everything we do in music is about, the expression. So if people ain't taken to his expression, then you might have to look deeper to, raw, this youth's actually trying to tell us something. Do you understand? Away from that, if the scene doesn't back it, the scene doesn't back it. Do you understand? Because people are like, nah, man, I'm not trying to hear that. Do you understand?
Basically now he's gone and he's doing the Playboy Carti thing. That's what you're saying he's done.
Okay, well,
he's on that type of wave now.
If that's the music he's comfortable doing, then let him be comfortable doing it. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Like when I record songs, I don't record grime songs every day. People don't jump on me for it. When I said I was leaving grime, no one ever jumped on me for it. When I was like, no, I'm not doing this no more, no one ever got on to me for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's just it's all based on the individual, how they wanted to let their expression go. So as you can see, he obviously has a lot to say about the subject because he's talking to you about it and he's being back and forth and he's confiding in you to tell you, right, his opinion and his view on why he feels how he feels.
But the thing is, there's a number of people that have these views. But
of course
still, when you say these views or when you express these views, people are so quick to jump down your neck and tell you, no, you're wrong.
Yeah, but of course, like, bro, just politics, innit? Everyone's entitled.
So do you think, like, the gatekeeper thing that he's talking about there, then, you think that's what you're on about when it comes to gatekeepers? Is that one of the reasons why?
Like,
you want that? Run it back, bitch, don't tell me nothing. 20 stacks, rashes keep on coming. Living large, know my payroll's up. At the bar, I throw away those ones.